issues. So streaming live video currently only on Facebook. No, only on YouTube. Working on Facebook. And we don't think we can stream on Twitter thanks to your guy Elon edition of Wilde and Tausch. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. It's not your fault. It's not like Goodwill Hunting. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
You install one update, suddenly Twitter goes away.
Yeah. Got to get VMix on the panel with old Elon. And also in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, he's the Packers Hall of Famer. He's the one who suggested USA versus the world in the NBA All-Star Game. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How do you feel about Giannis stealing your idea?
Love it. I want people that can implement the changes that I have to get it, and that's why I wanted to get in touch with McAfee to get the NFL to take the pick your opponent.
Yeah, I was going to say that's got to be next.
And this will be next because I just saw the numbers on the hockey on ABC, and they were very good. And what drives change? Money, numbers. So, big success. And by the way, that was an exhibition. And you had guys fighting tooth and nail. I don't watch a ton of NHL hockey. I watch enough youth and young hockey to satisfy my hockey bill. I watched almost all of this with Max, and it was intense. It was fun.
Fighting.
It was awesome. And why was it awesome? Because guys cared. Because guys competed. And everybody wants to fix the All-Star game. You got to get guys that are going to want to care and compete. Because fans know the difference. And all of us that love sports, we love the athleticism. We love all the great skills that they can do. But what we really love is to watch men, women compete at the highest level, leave it all out on the court. And if you don't do that, we don't really care. If you don't care, why do we care? So all of this other stuff, they cared, we cared. The NBA All-Star Game and the NFL Pro Bowl, nobody has cared, and we stopped caring. And when that happens, you better adjust or die. And one group is going to adjust, the other group's going to die, unless they adjust. And so that's kind of where I look at it.
I don't want to be the party pooper here.
Okay.
But as of right now, today, as we talk, the Four Nations face-off was meant as a replacement for this year for the All-Star Game to celebrate the return to the Winter Olympics for the NHL.
Okay.
And as of now, 2026, next February, the NHL is scheduled to go back to a regular old All-Star Game, even though nobody really thinks it's any good, including like 81% of the players who were polled by The Athletic. So while we should give the NHL a boatload of credit for this, they better make sure that they do something other than the All-Star Game next year, because now their All-Star Game has now been made even worse because you've seen something that's way more interesting than what they will put out there in 2026, or at least they're scheduled to put out there in 2026.
Yeah, they'll make adjustments, and my guess is, I don't know, I feel like Russia has a lot of hockey players too, and I feel like maybe they'd be one. I think you, at some point, look at this and say, let's make this thing more Olympic style. And all of our sports are going more and more global, the NFL included. The NFL is not there. We're not at that point. But the NBA certainly is, and there is no doubt there's a lot of angst amongst European v. American hoopsters, and that would be awesome to watch. Same thing in hockey. So, and I think baseball would be wise to do something similar to that too, because as you grow in a global way, you want that, you want to feel that. And I think the NBA has done a great job of promoting it and doing it, but now you have an opportunity, and I would bet donuts to dollars that there will be something in that format next year that will highlight that, because it will get the juices flowing. It will get guys to care more. And if it doesn't, I think you have a much bigger problem on your hands.
So you watched the Four Nations face-off.
I did.
You did not watch the NBA All-Star game?
No. I thought the whole thing was dumb. And LeBron just decides 20 minutes before the game to cancel.
Tough look.
Here's the deal, and LeBron has been a great player, but he and Draymond and the whole crew, they're sitting there complaining about this format that they've forced the NBA to do because guys didn't care at all. And LeBron, for all of his player empowerment, which has been great for players, I'm not 100% sure you can say it's been great for the NBA. I don't think it has been, and that's fine. The revenue and the money is all great, but the product is not, and they have a lot of work to do in figuring out what that's going to look like moving forward.
I don't want to spend all show, and we won't, solely on All-Star games, but don't you think baseball still has some cachet? Now, they've stopped doing the World Series home field advantage based on that, correct? They did away with that?
Yeah, it was several years ago they got rid of that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
but that seems to be the only one where people actually
I don't think
still want to watch, and they seem to try.
Yeah,
it's
right?
the one that looks the closest to the regular product,
correct,
whether you're trying or not. Yeah,
I remember a game ended in a tie at Miller Park / AmFam Field.
That's true, that did,
and that's what caused that change. So, in essence, what we're learned. Don't take All-Star games too seriously, but don't take them and be completely ridiculous. And don't give any effort and don't care. When you do that, nobody else is going to care. We're not asking you to have the same intensity as a Super Bowl or as an NBA championship. Nobody's asking that. You're just asking to play. And somebody, I don't know who it was on ESPN or TNT or somewhere, made the comment, I don't know. Basically made the comment, you shouldn't be playing harder in summer pickup games than you play in the All-Star game. And that has definitely been the case. And again, I'm not at these summer pickup games, but they are. And that's what they're saying. So there's a disconnect. Again, nobody I doubt many people care. I think some people do, and sports fans do. And it, to me, is a bigger picture than just the All-Star game. This is more, do you think today's athletes compete at the same amount of intensity as the older athletes, Jason? You've covered it 30 years. Is the competition level, is it the compete level of the guys the same?
So, in covering the NFL...
I'm too biased to give my opinion on this. Yeah. So, Jason?
Yeah, I always that's my favorite. No, I don't think so. I also think the game has changed, at least in the NFL. I can't speak to whether NBA players play as hard as Marcus Johnson and
they don't. But
Sidney
NFL,
Moncrief,
I need you to answer. NBA, there's no. It's not even close.
But I would say no. At the same time, I think the game has evolved in a way that some of the things that would have indicated effort and trying hard in the previous version of this game have been legislated out of the game, right? Like hitting guys into next week has been legislated out of the game. Being a hard hitter is one of the indicators of effort, right? And so if you're, having to, now you've got the hip drop tackle that's been eliminated, like certainly there are less indicators of intensity of play in the NFL today. Now, again, I don't want to get into a socio-economic study of players who got, trophies. Everyone gets a trophy. Everyone gets a medal, which, by the way, in gymnastics and in volleyball, which I watched this weekend, you don't, or basketball, not everyone gets a medal. But I do think that today's player is different as well. I don't, you come up being a lot of them being coddled and being told how great they are the whole time, they continue to think that way once they get to the league. And I know you and many others during your era, there were still plenty that were coddled going into that era, but not to the degree of today.
Oh, no. Again, I am not the right person to ask on this because I'm completely biased. But the coddle factor is 100x what it used to be.
Yes. Agreed.
It's not even close.
Yep. I'm glad you agree. I want to read a YouTube comment from Logan, though. Because anytime you start out
I'm glad you're doing that because Mike in Edgerton is put up on our Carbless Talk and text line, and I think it's in font of, like, you have to have 1010 vision to read that.
Well, let's get to Mike in Edgerton since we've decided to read that first. Golf, Jesse.
Well, I thought you were going to old boy.
When I start reading it, don't take it away. Golf has nailed it with the Ryder Cup for years. This Four Nations has captured that feel, and NBA USA versus the world would do the same, I think. The Ryder Cup, the Ryder Cup isn't an all-star game, though, right?
I mean, that's it's the best of the.
It's the closest thing golf has.
No, it's the all-star game.
It's an individual sport where they actually have teams
so is
for the
basketball when it comes to the all-star game.
Okay,
well, it is.
But
you get a collection of the best individual players to play together. That literally is what the Ryder Cup does.
No, I think the Ryder Cup is probably more like the Olympics than it is like an all-star game.
No, I mean, I disagree. It's not. Who has had the best season, and then we're going to get that group of guys together to play in a game.
It's not the best season. The captains pick people, and they're not always the guy
who's...
who's...
two or three dudes.
The Ryder Cup comp, you could say for All-Star Weekend for the NBA, that like if you had USA versus the world Rising Stars, and you get points for whoever wins that. You get USA versus the world for the three-point contest and the make it an entire weekend type deal.
Exactly.
That would be pretty cool.
And then you could do some one-on-one stuff for point. Yes, exactly. You could do 3-on-3. You could have a full weekend and not tax everybody, and then play one game for 10 points. That would be, you could trump everything else if you win that game. There's 100 ways to make this thing super entertaining, and they're probably not going to do it because the players are like, dude, I'm playing 82 games. I'm tired. I don't want to play during an exhibition where I'm not getting paid. That's what's going to happen. And by the way, the Ryder Cup, for all of the greatness, there have been controversies with that too because guys want to get paid. Guys want to get paid. Hey, they should. That shouldn't be the barrier here. There's enough money there for guys to get paid. And
sounds to me like you just explained how the Ryder Cup is not anything like the NBA All-Star Game. That's what that sounded like to me. I'd like to get to...
No,
what's that face for?
That's not what it...
You just went through a series of things that are not like the Ryder Cup, and they should adopt what the Ryder Cup does and apply them to an All-Star Game. Is that not what
I'm not the guy that texted in. I'm saying that's what it should look like.
All right, Logan in the YouTube comments starts with... You all right over there?
Yes.
Couldn't disagree with Mark more.
Love it.
But I like watching the best NBA players mess around with each other in past All-Star games. Nobody was leaving it all out there. I'm easy to please. Logan, there can't be many people like you.
Kudos to Logan for just wanting to be one of the guys. Kudos to Log.
Like, that's great that he admits he's easy to please.
Sounds like you.
Well, no, because I didn't watch the All-Star game at all. But it looks like Logan enjoys that sort of thing. The problem that the NBA has is that there's not enough Logans.
More Logans. There you go. Solving problems.
I did not get to make it down to State Fair Park for the Nari Home and Hope show, so I didn't make it to booth 145. Did you make it down there?
No, I was unable to. It was snowy. Very snowy out.
Well, I hope lots of people made it down there and got to see Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin at booth 145.
Indeed, and you know what? Can accomplish a lot in 6 years. I'm trying to think. Senate terms are 6 years. What else is 6 years? Just think about all the stuff that can happen. You can go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. I did that in 5, but no big deal. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. A 10-year labor warranty. Well, that is always included as well, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on March 8th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
We'll see what other Tausch ideas are being stolen across sports next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different
And special.
and loaded with personality.
And one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
Second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
and don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Gruber's Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
thanks to Jesse, who I didn't know you were a graphic designer. But thanks for putting up this birthday graphic on Twitter on Saturday. That was awfully nice of you. Thanks for doing that.
Put it on Facebook, too, where we hope to be live streaming soon. But Facebook's where you really wish everybody happy birthday. That's where all the commenters over there are like, oh, happy birthday, Jason.
You think Facebook will be around in 10 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that one has the most staying power of all.
No,
maybe
Instagram is the one that's going to be the.
But Facebook and Instagram are like, they're so closely connected that it's
owned
kind of
by the same company.
It's kind of the same
Meta.
thing. Yeah.
Meta.
Like for me, I don't know about you. I'm at the point where now I love looking at Facebook for the memories from like 10 years ago, 15 years
it's a nice
ago.
feature.
And when it pops up and I'm seeing like pictures from when I was in college and like at a Peoria Chiefs baseball game and stuff like that's why I love Facebook now. That's pretty cool. So I don't want it to go anywhere because I've got a lot of stuff on there.
Cool.
Well, thanks for doing that, Jesse. I saw that while Sydney was playing basketball, and then yesterday we were at volleyball tournament. So thank you. It was a great weekend, and I appreciate you doing that. I did notice also during my birthday that you and Rob Domofsky were getting after the officials at Purdue and the officiating writ large in college basketball. Rob, very unhappy with the flagrant on, was it Amari McGee that was called for the flagrant foul? Were you watching that game?
No, I was listening. I was on the road. I was listening to Matt Lepay.
Scheduled to appear later in the program.
Yeah, and I know he is interested. He's going to break down the right guard position for the Packers. I know he is a big fan of all the Packer talk on our station. It was an awesome win. I think the foul on McGee.
Well, wait a minute.
What?
What was that joke?
What was what joke?
Lepay breaking down the right guard. What?
He doesn't think we talk enough Packers on this show. No, he
doesn't think we talk enough Packers.
He doesn't think we talk enough Packers.
Matt Lepay doesn't think we talk enough Packers?
Yes, he thinks we don't talk enough Packers, which I'm intrigued. I don't know if I think most of our fans probably think we don't talk enough Packers. As well, I don't know.
But then people tell us we talk too much Packers.
Yeah, it's a weird coincidence. I don't know. We'll have to ask Matt when he joins us. You can't, and I said this about football as well, the NCAA, Big Ten, however you want to look, and I don't want to be like Debbie Downer on SNL, but we can't have guys and women that are putting all of their work in to be thrown out of a game and not have like someone there to appeal or look at it. You just can't do it. It has to be so egregious to get them. You only get so many cracks at this, and to play in a game that big. Saturday afternoon in West Lafayette's about as big of a regular season game as you're going to get. And you put in the hours, you run those hills, you go bask them, you do all this work to position yourself to get in these opportunities, and then someone sets an illegal screen, which happens in college basketball, and I saw Rob and Homer. Like the illegal screen setting, I've said this in the NBA, watch the Golden State Warriors, there's 15 illegal screens a set. Whatever. You get hit in the junk. A guy who gets hit in the junk, right? He's 6'9", old boy's what, 6'1"? It wasn't some, like, he didn't go up knowingly and, like, smack him, right? He was fighting through the screen like he's taught. And, yes, there's flagrant 1, there's flagrant 2. But to throw a kid out of a game in that instance, it's absolutely ridiculous. Just like throwing guys out for a game and then the next half, when it's not headhunting time, it's a bang-bang play. There's not the – you know when there's ill intent, right? You know when there's ill intent. That was not ill intent. I'm done with the throw a flag, penalize it. If you want to give them a flagrant 1 and shoot free throws, fine. I'm done with the ad hominem suspensions of guys. I'm done with it.
All right, so they did review it, though. And to me, that is the problem here, is that they reviewed it and they still called it that. Am I understanding this correctly? I was not watching. I just followed on social media the reaction to Rob's post and your agreement. They did review it, and then they still called it a flagrant 2.
Correct.
The system is broken, is what that tells you. And the system needs to be rebooted, just like Jesse's video stream. It has to be rebooted, period. And if it's not, it's just, I don't want guys losing opportunities to play in monster games. And the ironic part of this whole thing, and Gardo said this after the game, that lit a fire on his guys.
Yeah?
That's awesome. I'm not saying. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not doing it yet. I will.
You already did it once.
I will ask Matt Lepay when he joins us. I like this group. I like this group.
Oh, do you?
I do.
How much do you like?
I like them a lot. I like this group. I will be at the game tomorrow night liking this group. And my hunch is Wednesday morning, I'm going to really like this group unless we get beat. I will really like this group come Wednesday morning.
On a scale of 68 to 4, how much do you like this group?
I don't know. I will make sure. I'm going to take a beat. I'm not going to palm this Purdue win, even though it was a monster win. One of the biggest regular season road wins we've seen since 2015. Since 2015?
Wait a minute. I mean, it's not even their biggest road win at Purdue in the last 5 years.
Since when?
Good point.
Johnny Davis went there and beat them when Purdue was like number 2 or 3 in the country.
How'd they end up doing?
They made the tournament, made it to the second round in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Ironic. Milwaukee's a host site this year.
So we'll see. We'll see how big this win was. But to my knowledge, that's just a good win. I saw on social media every ESPN personality, a lot of those big old trains chewing up on the screen. There's a caboose for everything, and the Badgers were the caboose down there in West Lafayette.
That was one of the worst analogies I've ever.
They were the caboose?
They ended it. Yes. They ended all those dumb predictions.
You beat a team by 10. You scored 94 points on the road. I understand.
Do you guys understand? Hold up a second,
because
I don't think you guys understand trains. The caboose is the end of the train. The end of these idiotic predictions, the Badgers were the caboose of the prediction game. What don't you understand about that?
Do you think when you get called a caboose that would be viewed
I said
positively
the predictions
or negatively?
were the caboose.
No, you said the Badgers were the caboose.
Yeah, the Badgers were the caboose of these predictions. Yes, they ended it. I don't think that should be that. I know you two like to gang up, and that's fine. But if you're going to gang up, you better come heavy at me.
What did they end? What about the predictions?
The idiotic predictions. Boilermaker train. The Badgers caboosed it. Said, we'll head back. We'll take that dub. And you guys... Pretty simple.
How, speaking of cabooses, you've been bringing up the rear on your prize picks lately. Has that shifted at all, or are you still struggling?
I didn't get into the NBA this weekend. I did not, but the second half of the basketball season where they're actually going to compete and play, I'm all in. And the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. The app is simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport. Pick more or less on their projection. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. Don't miss out for your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Join Prize Picks. It's available to play in more than 40 states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code for the greatest state in our union, Wisconsin, and you get $50 instantly when you play 5. That's code WI on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play for $5. So win or lose, you get $50 just for playing. Prize Picks.
Run!
Your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Tausch, if you need some help, I figured out I got back on the winning ways on Prize Picks this weekend. Second half college basketball. I'm really good at
the caboose of the college basketball
Watch
games.
The first half, see how it's trending.
Sure.
Make your second half selections for points, rebounds, assists. I had like 4 winning entries
Should
this
write
week.
a book on that.
4 for 4.
I like that.
Nailed
Good
them
win.
this week. We're back.
Nice.
Congratulations, Jesse. That's great news. We look forward to more of your accurate predictions on Prize Picks. We also look forward to more Wilde and Tausch. Straight ahead. Stick around.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
The wait is over. Brewers baseball is back. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Be here for opening day. Come back for the big games and the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's opening day and every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has 13 Milwaukee area branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Steinhaffel's President's Day sale is happening now. Find great deals on amazing bonus buys throughout the entire store. Then take an extra $100 off every $14.99. Plus, get a $100 MasterCard for every $14.99. See store for details. Or make your new room more affordable with Steinhaffel's 36-month 0% financing. Get in today because these deals won't last long. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
The second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projection, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40-plus states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code WI. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code WI on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for just playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Maddie's Bar and Grill, Papa Stash, Tavern on 6, Joe Cat's Pub, Camp Bar Wauwatosa, Maxwell's, Thirsty Buck, State Street Pizza, and Stenny's Lake Country. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
get to Josh Jacobs with, I'll tell you what, man. John Gruden, who is in the process of certainly rehabilitating his image. Jesse, I have a question since you're Mr. Facebook. I received, and Gary Ellerson just posted on my timeline. I just got an alert. Thank you, Gary. I have received.
Here's my excellent Photoshop work for those who are
you did
watching
a great
on
job.
YouTube. Yeah.
Lots of emojis. Yeah. What do the people on Twitter think of the video stream and seeing that? Do I have to?
Who's our Photoshop guy? Is it Greg?
Greg. Yeah.
Surprised you didn't kind of lease that out to Greg.
I'm sitting on the couch watching the Badger. I'm like, you know what? I can do this. Bang! There it is.
Thought you did a great
that
job.
ice cream cone on the bottom looks very yummy.
Loves ice cream.
Who's that from? Which spot?
You tell me.
Well, that's the one spot we can.
I'm a big Baskin Robbins guy.
GNC, actually.
It's protein fortified. Do I respond to each and every person individually today now when I get caught up on my birthday wishes? What's the protocol?
You like it.
Isn't liking it responding to it?
No.
I think it is.
You got to comment on. So my policy,
Reply.
I have a policy for.
The delicate genius has a policy.
If you just wish, if your little post on your timeline just says "Happy Birthday," I just like it.
Which appears to be now pre-written for people. So now you don't even have to type that. Because they all have the same emojis and everything.
What's the difference in that and getting the timed out text on Thanksgiving or Christmas, or do you treat those both the same?
I think the Facebook happy birthday message is the least personal of the birthday or holiday wishes.
The predetermined text that you haven't responded and you saw the same one?
No.
Okay.
Because that person is taking the time to include you in a text is just a more personal effort delivery.
It's literally the exact same thing.
It's not, though.
I guess they have your cell number, so that might. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe.
So if it just says happy birthday, I'll just like it. If it's happy birthday, and then there's either.
What if it's singing happy birthday?
If there's anything extra, then it usually warrants a comment back. So if it's like happy birthday, Jason, looking forward to seeing you at the Packers-Bears game this fall, you can comment back, hey, thanks, Sylvie, looking forward to. I don't know why I thought Sylvie.
It's a good
wished me happy
example.
birthday.
No, I think Sylvie did wish me a happy birthday, so thanks.
But if it's just a regular happy birthday, a like would suffice. That's all you need to do there.
Okay. Yeah. I appreciate you giving me that insight. So John Gruden is back with the help of Barstool Sports. Is that what's happening here?
What do you mean he's back? Is he coaching?
Well, no, but he's back in the public eye.
Anybody can do that. Yeah. I mean, everybody has a platform.
He was the voice of Monday Night Football for a decade.
So I don't know if I'd say he's back. He's not Tom Brady, and he's working. Barstool's a big company, no doubt, but I don't think he's back.
I guess I understand he's not coaching the Raiders again. He's not in the league. But tell me, before he started doing this Barstool stuff, when was the last time you'd heard from him beyond those emails that were leaked in the Washington Commanders scandal? He
definitely took the brunt.
Right. Worse than the owner of the Commanders.
The owner had to sell his team for $7 billion. Oh, boy. But he also had to see his team flip it, and I think it was actually more penal in the long run, probably to the owner, whatever. I can't remember his name.
My question is, he had gone dark. We were not even imitating him anymore. And Jesse does a good
Jesse
Gruden.
was scared. After about a couple, it was probably a year, I said, you can imitate Gruden again.
I tell you what, man, you get a couple allegations like that, I don't want to go down that road.
I still think it sounds more like Jay Gruden or Frank Caliendo doing Gruden. Well, nevertheless.
Caliendo was on here, man, and I tell you what, he said it sounds like Jay, and then we did a whole John and Jay thing. It was pretty cool, in 2019, back when John Gruden wasn't canceled yet, huh?
It's pretty good, Jay. So wait, John or Jay, what did you and Josh Jacobs talk about this past weekend?
I got to tell you what, I have no freaking idea what we talked about in this clip. There's a lot of phrases in here, and I got no idea what is even being said when we're talking about
Spider
these
to
things.
banana?
No, I even know what Spider to banana. Here, listen to it. Or don't.
Dynamite stuff.
Say, we got to get under the center. I need to get under the center. I got to get him 8 yards deep so he can get some momentum going towards the line of scrimmage. And I see the Packers doing that for you at times. But you also have a very creative shotgun running game. And your offensive line, they pull a lot. You'll pull both guards, both tackles. Where are you now? What are the top 2 or 3 runs that are in your wheelhouse? Can you put it in my terminology a little bit? You still like Wanda?
My favorite is still duo.
Duo
is my favorite because, you got the double team, what we used to call it the 600-pound block, and you basically just manipulating the linebacker. Basically, it gives you the most options, I would say. But we had a play last year that we had kind of created where we motion, and we in shotgun, and we motion, and then we come down, and then we pull the guard and the tight end back the opposite way. That was probably my favorite run because you could tell like the defenses was confused. They like, hold on, what's going on? And then I feel like every time we called it, we either got a big run or it was a good game. So it was smooth.
You guys run a duo out of the gun.
Yeah, we do.
A lot, man. You don't expect that play out of the gun.
You heard it first, duo Lipo, here from Tausch and Brian Bulaga, pointing out the change in what they were doing in their run game for Josh Jacobs versus what they did for Aaron Jones. My question for you, Tausch, is at the very beginning, Jesse Nelson /John/Jay Gruden says, got to get him under center, get some momentum going. Doesn't sound to me like Josh Jacobs, and this is what Matt LaFleur had kind of said when we were having that back and forth about play action. Sounds to me like Josh Jacobs really likes the shotgun handoff and the duo blocking scheme. So how are they going to fix this if that's what he prefers?
Well, you have to play to your players' strengths, and that's obviously what Matt LaFleur did. Because for as much as I appreciate coaches having a system and things that they hang their hat on, when you have great players, you adjust. And you find ways to meld both together so that everybody is getting what they're looking for to kind of get the best efficient offense you can. It did reiterate what Matt LaFleur has said and what we talked about mid-season. Josh Jacobs likes running the football a certain way, and he had a great season. So you don't want to come into OTAs and say, well, Josh, that was great, but now we need you to do this, 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 and this. What you do need to have is there are times and things we need to do out of different formations and out of different, under center, whatever it might look like, that will benefit us as a group. That conversation also can happen. You can do more than one thing. And I love the fact that Josh has certain things he wants. They've adjusted. They started pulling guys. If you'd have said 4 or 5 years ago, what does Matt LaFleur's offense look like? It would look nothing like what we saw running the football last year. That's just not what it is. Kudos to him for making those adjustments and allowing Josh to be as productive as he is. Now, how do we incorporate what Josh is really good at and be able to sell play action and the stuff that Matt LaFleur is really good at? That's really the big question mark, and I don't know because, I thought the same thing when I heard those clips. It's Josh really likes what Josh likes, and that's great. I liked running keep passes. I was really good at running keep passes because there's no pressure on you as a player. It's wipe them down and go. That doesn't mean, both tackles love keep passes. We should run that 50 times a game. Well, no, that's not how the world works. There's going to come a time where it's 3rd and 7 and you're going to have to block Julius Peppers, or you're going to that is the job. So for as much as I'd love to sit here and say, well, we're only going to run duo out of gun and we're only going to do this, there are times in a game when a defense isn't good at stopping play action or getting into their drops. They have a hard time reading play action. We need to run outside zone, and we need you to run out from under center because it's for the betterment of our team, and you need to get good at that too. So it can't just be, well, this is what I like and so I'm doing. I want you to incorporate that, But it can't be the only answer to these questions that keep coming up as an offense.
Just out of curiosity, how often do they care about what the tackle's like?
Well, if you're giving up a bunch of sacks, they'll care a little bit more. They'll replace you. But you want to have a good understanding of what guys are good at. Like if guys are road graders and you're really good running power, Mike Wall is a great pulling left guard, and maybe he doesn't love running an inside zone, maybe you're going to say, you know what? We'll probably pull you more than we'll go inside zone, but that doesn't mean we ain't going to do any inside zone. So it's more about a percentage and more about a give and take than it is, I'm a hard-headed, this is what I'm doing. And I'm not saying that's what Josh Jacobs is doing, but what I am saying is abundantly clear, Josh Jacobs has a certain way he likes running the football. That obviously reared its head, and it's not an ugly head, it's a great head, because that team ran the football really well, and it was a lot of duo gun stuff. But if you're really going to look at it, and that's why that whole explosive play thing surprised me, I would guess a lot of those happened earlier in the season because at the end the inconsistency showed because teams didn't care about play action pass. They sat back, and maybe that's another reason that Josh Jacobs, there was not the same amount of downhill sell as linebackers when you're out of gun because that's just not how it's taught on the defensive side of the ball.
All right. I have a few other things I want to get to before we get back to Badger basketball. Since, tell me if I'm reading this wrong, but your I think it was in sarcasm font that Matt Lepay thinks we should maybe talk more Badger basketball and less Packers.
Yeah, you'll have to ask him. I don't know.
Reading that,
I want him. I am going to get because I'm curious if he thinks we should re-sign Josh Myers. I also want to get that. I want to know if he thinks Jordan Morgan is the answer at one of the guard spots, or if they want to move him out to tackle. I want all of his breakdown on Tanjay and Gilly and the whole crew, but I also want to get some other insights, too.
Is there an inside joke here that Jesse and I are not privy to?
What do you mean? Not everything's a joke. Not everything's a clown. Not everything's funny now. So, I don't know.
Okay. I would say this isn't funny because I don't get
Hey,
it.
Packer fans, dreaming of the ultimate draft day experience? The American Family Insurance Dream Draft Sweepstakes is your chance to win a VIP trip to the NFL Draft in Green Bay. Close your eyes, guys. Close them up. Imagine this. You and a guest. You could get exclusive tickets. Last time I checked, there are not many hotel accommodations left up in the Bay. You're going to get that. You're going to get custom merchandise and a lot more. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you don't want to miss, and AmFam has you covered. Head over to amfam.com/Packers to enter today. See official rules at amfam.com/Packers. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
We'll get ready for Matt Lepay, but we've got some other things to get to first, including, as Jesse calls him, the Cowboys dude. We'll tell you who that is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
ESPN. Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Ever wondered what it's like to be an NFL play caller?
The concept of man-to-man versus zone defensively, that's what's going on in the NFL, right? I mean, that's the game.
All the schemes and everything in between.
When the defense for the Packers messes up, they're going to go, but Locker told me that he's got 9-year-old kids that can figure that out. What the hell is going on out there?
The Homer Hour, weekdays from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN and on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here to tell you about one of the best purchases I recently made, an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. It's an easy-to-install sauna that is great for a post-workout, travel, or long-day detoxification, and it has a rapid heat-up time. Using Good Health Saunas can also help reduce stress, improve circulation, and make your skin glow. Got an athlete in your family or just someone with an active lifestyle? Infrared saunas are perfect for muscle and tissue recovery as well. Learn more today at goodhealthsaunas.com, goodhealthsaunas.com.
I'm excited about it. You know, these cutting-edge things that are new in medicine now, I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics. It works.
Henry Hinton decided to check out QC Kinetics regenerative treatments for his aching knees after seeing a close friend have amazing results without going under the knife.
I have a friend that started this, which is one of the reasons that I decided to do it. He could not play golf anymore, and he went to QC Kinetics and started having the treatments, and he's back golfing like 3 days a week. He couldn't play at all.
QC Kinetics gets you back to doing what you love, using your own natural biologics to help heal and restore damaged joints. Long-term relief that puts a guy back on the golf course.
You know, I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference. QC Kinetics works. I'm excited about it.
You're next. Start with a call to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Get ready, Oak Creek. Tsunami Express is making a splash with a brand new location at 6900 South 27th Street. Join the grand opening celebration February 12th through the 23rd. Enjoy free washes and snag an unbeatable deal. Just $5 for your first month of unlimited washes. Plus, 100% of the grand opening proceeds go to Special Spaces Wisconsin, creating dream bedrooms for kids battling cancer. Make a difference while getting your car sparkling clean at Tsunami Express in Oak Creek. See you there. Offer valid for new members only. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
So we'll circle back on this a little bit later in the program because I know Matt Lepay, from what I've been told anyway, would like us to talk more Packers. But I was on Sunday Karma yesterday with Alex Strofe and Kyle Wallace.
Okay.
From a volleyball facility that had zero cell reception, and then their Wi-Fi didn't work either. So a long day of not being connected to the world. Not a fan of that.
Why? You should be present with your kids anyways. What do you need to be on the Wi-Fi for?
Well, one kid was at home, so it'd be nice to be able to check in on her while we were in Cedarburg. Secondly, I had a radio hit to do, and I had to drive away from the boondocks to go do it.
But you understand my basic premise.
Well, you know,
right?
You know, he likes writing stories under the bleachers and
also
wherever,
true.
all
Yeah,
those
but
places
that's not
you
when
paint
his
on the
kids.
grass.
His kids are watching games, and when they're playing, he should be all invested in.
I
right?
don't know if you've ever been to a volleyball tournament before, but they play some games, and then they spend wide swaths of time not playing.
Yeah, go
games.
grab a lunch. Go get a bite.
Take a beat.
Yeah, tell Strophy, hey, I got volleyball at this point, and then I'm going to go take a beat. Grab a bite, and I'll do my hit then. Like, this isn't that hard, right? Or am I crazy? Maybe I'm missing something. Help me, help you.
Take a Sunday off.
Yeah. Hey, Sunday Karma, I know you guys, I'm going to take a Sunday off because I got a big volleyball match. I'm watching my youngsters playing. Or am I crazy? I could be crazy.
I mean, they should have Wi-Fi.
In today's day and age, I would think yes. But if they don't, maybe that's a way of sending you a message and saying, I'm going to take a beat. There's no football. It's my time. I just missed a full week because my kids left me on vacation by myself.
That did happen.
I get to all just spend. I'm going to be present without having all of the distractions of the modern age world at my fingertips. I'm going to embrace this. Jason, tell me why I'm crazy.
You're not. That's exactly what I did, but I still had a radio hit to do when she wasn't playing, and I had to drive to a quick trip about 2 miles away to get cell reception.
Oh.
And I did that segment with Alex Strofe when Sid wasn't playing. I did not mind not having any cell service while she was playing because I was watching.
My bad. I thought you were complaining about not having cell reception. I didn't realize you weren't.
During the time she wasn't playing, it would have been useful to have. Anyway.
What'd you get at Quick Trip?
I got the mini tacos. They're one of my favorite things.
The apps are on sale, $2.99.
Snack time.
By the way, we also stopped at the Quick Trip on our way home at the Saukville. Kudos to the Saukville location right off 43. I have never seen that hot zone where they have all the food more thoroughly stocked. There were options galore. Now, if I may get to my point. During my appearance on Sunday Karma.
I'm really curious what your point is here.
It's not going to live up to your speech. Alex Strofe is convinced that if he goes into the offseason hoping for big splashes by the Packers, he's going to be disappointed. And so I gave him the guy that Rob Domofsky gave us on Friday from his buddy Todd Archer, who covers the Cowboys. And thanks to Hunter Vaughn, noted Gerald Ford aficionado, for sending me the correct pronunciation of Oso Odigizua. That's the defensive tackle that Rob told us the Packers might sign. Keep an eye on him, he said.
How do we pronounce his name again? I just want to make sure because
Odigizua. Thanks to Hunter Vaughn for the pronunciation. Yeah, if that's the guy, then on March 11th or 12th, since the negotiating window opens on the 10th, I'm guessing you're not going to be that excited because that ain't Myles Garrett, that ain't Max Crosby. But again, as I said to Alex Strofe, how much did you know about Zadarius Smith when they signed?
I knew a bunch.
Oh,
I
that's
did.
good.
Thanks.
Most people
Would we be
didn't.
happy if we signed someone with the impact of a Zadarius Smith?
He had 26 sacks his first 2 seasons with the Packers, so I would say resounding yes, you would be.
Okay.
Wouldn't you? You knew so much about him originally. Tell me more.
Well, I knew he had. There is a Baltimore Raven Green Bay Packers connection, and I think there's a lot of similarities in how they evaluate talent. So take a look at Baltimore's free agency list and take a long beat. Goody ain't signing 30. I know everybody is thinking Khalil Mack. That's not the prototypical Gootnator move. The Gootnator move is who hasn't gotten the opportunities because maybe for whatever reason, he ain't going to be over 27 years old. Probably you don't want guys that have made a ton of money already. You want guys that are hungry for production and money. That's the prototype of who the Gootnator's looking for.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe Oso is that guy. If you are hungry and you have a nice meal and you take a beat, well, then you probably want to wash it down with an ice cold Blue Mountain Coors Light.
Well, I'll tell you what, you don't have to worry about the mountains being blue now. Put those bad boys outside for 2 seconds and boom, blue. You know it's chilled to perfection. Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered. And it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill in those mountains. Make sure they're blue. That's when you know it's chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The 10 o'clock hour will include a visit from our friend Matt Lepay. The first segment is entitled All Aboard the Final Four Train by Jesse. which, of course, when you're talking about trains, you want to be the caboose.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. As we get off the caboose of the 9 o'clock hour, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $1,000 in cash prizes available. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a two-man scramble at TPC Scottsdale, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through February 28th. Your winter chance to play TPC Scottsdale awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
This is Kevin Moret for Mentality. Men, you're being robbed of your potential. Research shows a shocking 1% annual decline in testosterone levels. That's why building muscle feels impossible and your confidence is at an all-time low. But here's the truth. You're not alone in this uphill battle. Mentality's physician-directed, FDA-approved treatment doesn't just level the playing field, it restores your body's powerful balance. Our patients experience a documented 30% increase in their testosterone levels. Stop struggling and turn this around. Defy the odds and reclaim your masculine edge at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Picture it. Beautiful plants, freshly mowed lawn, crisply edged flower beds, and your grilling dinner out on an incredible back patio. Landworks Wisconsin is ready to plan your green space. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all your landscaping needs. Their team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. We'll talk to Matt Lepay coming up about the Badger men's basketball team and the role that they are on. Tausch, do you believe in jinxes?
Yes.
Wait, really?
Yes, I do.
For example, you saying that they're a Final Four team and then them losing like 10 of their next 14 last year.
That is not a jinx.
That is not a jinx.
Black cats.
It's an unfortunate coincidence.
I think black cats are jinxy.
Really?
And I just found out that if you put shoes on a countertop, someone dies. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's the husband who does it and the wife kills him.
I don't think that's how it works, but maybe. Was that laugh? Was that an LOL?
That was a joke.
Why are you stroking that black cat?
I don't petting or scratching her chin. Stroking, I'm not sure is the word I was looking for there, but that's fine. Finish your position on black cats. I thought it was timely that Luna was sitting here as you said that you thought that they were jinxes.
I just think they're jinxy. You see black cats run across, like if you're driving out somewhere and all of a sudden just out of nowhere a black cat goes squirreling through the road, you're kind of like, uh-oh, what's up?
You don't really believe that
I do.
a black cat crossing. Do you
like out in the middle of Yes, I do. But you're going to tell me how I think now and how I feel? That's how I feel. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but it is how I feel.
I'd like you to run down the list of times that a black cat has run across your path.
It's not that often, but when it does...
Did bad things happen after that?
Not great things.
for example.
But you want me to go into what? I don't think you want me to go down that road. Bad stuff has happened when
cats
I've
have
seen
crossed your
yes.
path.
Yeah, I don't want to make you feel like a jerk, so I'm not going to go down that road. But what I will say is, it has happened. I've seen it, and when that does happen, you start believing, ooh. And if you see a big old black hawk flying around, there are things and stuff that does occur, and then something else. And I'm not saying that's why it happened, but when it does happen, it will make you think. That's all. So jinxes, baseball, yes. There's a reason guys wear 25-day underpants. Stuff
the
happens.
no-hit jinx?
It is.
You say it?
I would tape my gloves a certain way. I did it every game. Is it neurotic? Absolutely it is. Is it one thing that you feel like maybe you can control in an uncontrollable world? Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you don't.
I'm assuming you don't believe in jinxes. Even though you're much more neurotic than I am, you don't believe in jinxes.
No, I don't.
Not at all.
I don't. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think that's how it works.
Well, how does it work then? I actually am looking for answers. So can you please tell me?
Well, you're a man of faith.
I am. Absolutely.
So, do you think God sends? I just don't. I don't think you saying if you come up to a kid who's throwing a no hitter and who's your guy? Skeenis? Is that your guy? You like Skeenis, right? Isn't
Skeens of the Pittsburgh
we watched
Pirates.
we watched some LSU gymnastics. And I know you guys are hating on Lily. She's a player now. She is.
First of all, her name's Olivia.
Whatever. She is a player.
Nailed it. Is she?
I don't even know if she's. I'm not even sure if she's still on the squad. Somebody's better, but she is.
You're not even sure she's still on the team.
No, but
you just said
she crushed the beam. The beam was dynamic.
Lily.
You sure it wasn't someone else? Maybe it was somebody named Lily. I don't.
I'll tell you, it's fun though. I should YouTube this. Me and Eleanor grading out and watching gymnastics is entertaining.
You want to do a sidecast?
We might sidecast the next. I guess there must be. Is Florida the big boys and girls in the gymnastics world? Jason, you're Johnny Gymnastics. There's somebody that LSU went and knocked off. Big upset in the gymnastics world. And I said, well, LSU's because Lily Dunn is dynamite. So I don't know. That's where I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like, I do know sports, and I know you have to stick landings when it comes to that. False steps are bad because false steps are bad in all sports. And other than that, I mean, if you're asking me to grade bars, I think there's something with angles and things like that. So it would have been interesting to hear because Eleanor obviously knows a heck of a lot more about gymnastics than I do.
I'm looking at Olivia Dunn. She goes by Livy on the LSU website. I'm not seeing a lot of. I see that she's got her Twitter and TikTok and various social media platforms. She's competed in 9 meets so far in bars and floor events.
So she's not a beamer. She's a floor gal. Okay.
I would like to.
She said she crushed the beam.
If I may interrupt the gymnastics talk
LSU.
for a moment.
Yeah, well, are you sure you want to?
On the carbless talking text line, Liz is more. DP and Madison makes a very important observation. I believe black cats and whatnot are superstitions, not jinxes.
Is that right?
That is the question that I asked.
I'll tell you, DP knows what he's talking about. DP is a great fan of the show.
Like a jinx is when Jason says on the way to Super Bowl 32, he says, I don't see any way we lose
That's an uneducated take.
And then they lose. Or you saying the Badgers are a Final Four team.
I didn't say that.
Last year you did.
I said but not saying. No, I didn't say. I said but I didn't say.
Don't make me pull the tape up.
Do we have this? I'll be honest. You've been kind of difficult ever since we did that.
Yep. Check the tape.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So the Badgers going in a tailspin last year. The second you said you think they're a Final Four team, that's a jinx, not a superstition.
Sure. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The superstition would be like, let's go watch the game at a bar because every time I watch them at home on Peacock, they lose.
The underpants thing, is that a jinx then or a superstition?
That's a superstition.
But if you don't wear them, then it's jinxing the team.
But, yes.
So they're both the same, in essence. You break the superstition, the jinx comes into effect. It's a causation deal.
Yeah. I think you could make that argument.
Kind of the same. All right. So you didn't say much by saying a lot.
I'm just reading the Carbless Talk and Text line. Lists more.
Don't take some accountability. You just brought this up, and you didn't really say much by saying anything. Is that a fair assessment?
Why are you? What is going on with you, man?
Jason, I don't.
You're so belligerent lately.
Belligerent? That's
yeah,
not
you're
the
getting
word
after
you're looking
all
for.
of us.
You ought to say crusty, maybe, but not belligerent.
Okay, crusty will work for me.
Belligerent was not.
It's kind of a causation deal, honestly.
Well, it is.
You being belligerent
You're
makes
crusty. Why so crusty?
I don't believe I am. Just because I hold you guys to the same account you hold me to doesn't make me crusty. It makes me.
This all goes back to replaying that audio. You've been crusty ever since because we held you to account, apparently. All right. Well, we should hold ourselves to the clock.
Let's talk Packers.
So we could get to Matt Lepay to talk Packers. Which I still don't understand. He'll have to explain that to me. Just like I explain to you all the time why it's so great to be an Associated Bank customer. I was texting with my friend Heidi over the weekend. Got my new Associated Bank hoodie. It may be the nicest hoodie I have. It's that Champion, really heavy-duty fleece. Really nice. I'm a big fan of that, and I'm a big fan of Associated Bank. Not just because they have Packers checking, Badgers checking, and Brewers checking. No. We're getting our new cards from Associated Bank, and we're just getting regular old checking. We don't need a Badgers, a Packers, or a Brewers logo on our cards. What we do need is the great customer service that they provide. And we get it, and so will you, because every Associated Bank customer gets that treatment. Go to AssociatedBank.com, find out more about early pay, find out more about their credit and fraud protection, all the ATMs they've got, everything that you need to get great customer service from Associated Bank. Again, AssociatedBank.com. Matt Lepay joins us, preferably to talk Badgers, maybe to talk Packers. Maybe he can explain what may or may not be a joke for us. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. The Green and Gold Championship window is on the clock.
To me, their window is now wide open. From here on out, they have the opportunity to get to the Super Bowl.
The countdown to the NFL Draft in Green Bay is on.
Goody has to start figuring out his first-round draft picks. Goody's inability to nail the first-round draft pick is what is keeping this team from being a true Super Bowl contender.
Green and Gold off-season talk right here. 94.5 ESPN and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra with Joshy this Thursday at Bullwinkle's at the Galleria in Brookfield. Josh will be at Bullwinkle's watching the Bucks take on Los Angeles starting at 7. Stop by for a chance to win Michelob Ultra prizes. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at the Sandlots of Salem in Salem Lakes, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, and Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill in Pewaukee. We'll see you Thursday at Bullwinkle's at the Galleria in Brookfield for the Bucks game at 7. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy responsibly. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Time now. And I want to be clear. I think the world of Tausch. I think he does an amazing job on Badger football. Amazing job on this show. But there are times where he's crusty, and I'm wondering if this guy can let me know how best to handle him when he's crustaceous. Because those times probably happen on their road trips for Badger football together. Is Matt Lepay on Wilde and Tausch. Matt, how do I get crusty Tausch to be more friendly, jovial Tausch? Any tips?
I have never been subjected to crusty or
interesting.
salty Tausch.
That's a lie.
Matt, do you think maybe it's the person running the ship, or not the caboose but the front of the train, that maybe has got something to do with that?
The caboose. This show needs a translator, by the way. The caboose of the prediction train.
All right, Matt, let me explain, because I took a lot of heat from these guys. The caboose was the end, because the caboose is the end of the train, and you were busy getting ready for your broadcast, but everybody, Boilermaker trains up on the screen on game day and everywhere else, because everybody thought a tough road game, and Wisconsin went in there, and not like some fluky win. They were better, even with all the other stuff that happened, and that's where the caboose came.
Okay, now I understand.
Okay, thanks.
See, you're your own translator. That's good. Yeah,
exactly.
Just another day. No respect for the Badgers. Just here we go again. Same story, different day, right?
Yeah.
But they won.
No doubt.
So the key is to just make him feel like he's always right. Let's be honest.
Not
here.
true.
That's what you just did.
That's
all right.
the key.
Matt, help us understand, because Tausch was making wisecracks about how you don't think we talk enough Packers on this show. And again, I know we're in the business of making him think that he's right all the time. So that he was telling the truth there. That's how you really feel. Is you like to hear more Packers talk?
Matt wanted to join us to break down whether or not we should re-sign our center, what we should do at left guard. So Matt, take it away. What's your Packers? What do you think we should do offensive line wise with the G&G?
Well, no, to me, it's more like how does the Badger win influence the Packers' ability to get a number one wide receiver for next year? I mean, that's really the story. We got to somehow weave that in there.
Here you go, Jason. Go ahead.
I'm exhausted. Why is it that Badger men's basketball, and I'm not going to make an old person reference like Tausch likes to with J.R. Ewing or in this instance Rodney Dangerfield, why don't they get more respect? And is that changing after a win like they had at Purdue?
I think in a general sense, it's the brand. I mean, in our business, we play the hits. If it's locally or in the state of Wisconsin or nationally, you're gonna play the hits. In football, that means you're always going to talk about Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Texas, USC, Georgia, et cetera, et cetera. Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame had a great year this year, but this was the first year it's won a major bowl game in 3 decades. But in between, when in doubt, we're going to talk about Notre Dame. In the NFL, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. It's been about 30 years since they've done anything in the postseason, but the NFL is a little different animal. But in basketball, it's Duke, Carolina, Kansas, et cetera, more of the SEC now because of how good the league is. And Wisconsin's just not in that group where you're going to play the hits, even with the success in basketball that it's had for 30 years for the most part, from Stu Jackson through Dick Bennett, Bo, et cetera. And then, so to me, like when Wisconsin gets attention, it has truly earned it, and which is the case right now. And for their sake, hopefully they'll continue to earn that attention the rest of the way. But they're not a school that, when in doubt, let's talk about Wisconsin. That to me is just a reality. And as fans, you can get frustrated, but it's not going to change. I don't think in our lifetime. It's just they're always going to talk about in basketball. It's Indiana, it's Michigan State, it's Michigan, Purdue to an extent, Ohio State to an extent. Now that UCLA is in the league, going to talk about UCLA a lot. In Wisconsin, here are the Badgers, and that's just the way it is. I think kind of have to try to learn to live with it because it's the way it's been forever, and I don't see it changing in our lifetime.
Matt, how much of that is style of play? Because I think it's just, the taking charges and gritty and the Dick Bennett era, and it's not as if Wisconsin hasn't gotten a lot better on offense. This year, obviously, they've been fantastic. But is that a big piece from just an aesthetic standpoint? But the people that are actually watching it, and I've heard many of the analysts kind of get out there and say, this isn't your mama or daddy's Badger team. This is a different look than what we've seen in the past.
I think in part, Tausch, but, I mean, look at Houston. Kelvin Sampson, he gets a lot of run nationally because his teams have been really good. They won a game over the weekends, 62-58, something like that over Arizona. They're known as a gritty defensive team. One of the greatest upsets in NCAA tournament championship game history was Villanova beating Georgetown. That was a game in the 50s. But it was Raleigh Massimino, the big personality guy, and I just think there are certain schools that, regardless of the style, because of the brand, you're going to get a lot of run. And I think with Wisconsin, it's been an easy out for people. But now, I mean, last year they scored, it was mid-70s. Maybe not electrifying to the national folks, but it was the most points per game that a Wisconsin team had scored since Tracy Webster and Michael Finley were going up and down the floor at the Fieldhouse. So they've been trending up. So they'll get more of it now. But again, to me, just my opinion here, I just think it's the brand. And as much as we all may love Wisconsin and the Badgers, you look at a big picture, and they're going to run down a list of other programs first. Doesn't mean that Wisconsin has to apologize for the way it's won, because it doesn't have to, because it's won a lot over the last 30 years. A lot of Big Ten championships, 3 Final Fours, so on and so forth. But it's just that it's the constant battle of getting that attention because your brand isn't as big as all the blue bloods out there.
So, Matt, when did you, and I'm not asking you to crown it, I think I'm coming to the game Tuesday, and if they win, I am saying this is a Final Four team. I'm going to preemptively say that already. I'm not saying you should say that, but when did you start realizing that this team has the opportunity to do something special? Was it earlier in the year? Is it, are we prisoners of the moment? How have you viewed this team as far as its growth from, October to where we're at now?
I thought, and at the time when they beat Arizona was not playing great. but it's still a very talented team, and it's in that, the top 2 or 3 of the Big 12. But when Wisconsin won that game, that was 3 months ago now, it was the middle of November, and scored triple digits to do it, that was like, oh, okay, when they're at their best, this is what they're capable of doing. But I know where the preseason predictions were, and I don't know how any of us would have any idea, particularly now with the transfer portal and the way rosters turn over. It's truly a guessing game. I had no idea what this team was capable of being back when I watched them over the summer or even in training camp in September and in October. But that Arizona game to me was an indicator that, this team is going to score a lot of points when it's at its best, and it could play with just about anybody. So other than they had that blip in December, they lost 3 in a row, and fell to Maryland, which is really playing well a couple of weeks ago in College Park. This team has really played it to an ability, guys, where they can win in a couple of different ways. They can shoot 60% like they did on Saturday, but they can win games that are a little bit more grinding. But because they shoot free throws so well, among other reasons, a grinding game isn't 55 to 53 anymore. They're still scoring in the 70s, which is a little different than what Badger fans are used to watching.
The Badgers enter their matchup with Illinois averaging 81.5 points per game, and Tausch preparing to declare them a Final Four team if they emerge with a win from that one. Talking with Matt Lepay, the voice of Badger basketball and Badger football, where he gets to enjoy the booth with Mark Tauscher on a regular basis. Matt, I have a few Wisconsin alumni friends who I like all but one aspect about them, and that is they're always complaining about Gardo, and they know that I'm a Gardo apologist. I don't have anything to apologize for this season. Help me understand how he has managed in the NIL transfer portal era to not only remake the offense and having it scoring at the level that it is, but to be able to navigate these waters that Tausch and I, and I'm sure you, when you're sitting back and not in front of a microphone, are bemoaning the way our beloved college sports have been impacted by the madness that is the Wild West of college sports right now.
Yeah, to his credit, he's tried to embrace it as much as you can, because what other choice do you have?
Right.
Unless you have such a big pile of money in your NIL where roster retention becomes a more manageable proposition. But to me, I equate Wisconsin athletics as being more of an equivalent of the Brewers, where you're going to maybe find somebody at a, quote, discount, maybe that overlooked player in the portal, and it's just a perfect fit. I mean, even I know A.J. Storr is struggling with Kansas this year, but he was a really good fit at Wisconsin, at least offensively. He couldn't guard anybody, but he could score a lot of points, and he was a reason to go to games, and a good guy. Like, everybody in that locker room likes A.J. Storr, okay? But he could make more money elsewhere, and, okay, good for him. The Chucky Hepburn deal, that was a blow, but he could make a lot more money at Louisville. So you get somebody like a John Tonje, and then also Xavier Amos and Cameron Hunter, who, Cameron hasn't played much, but Xavier's playing more and more. They have an ability. Greg talks about that 1 degree of separation. There's somebody maybe on the team who might know of someone, or that guy knows somebody who knows this player that they're pursuing. And in this rapid fire portal recruitment, they're able to do as good a job as you possibly can of their due diligence, not just of how he fits in X's and O's, but how he fits into the locker room. And they've been pretty, maybe a little bit of luck there, but I think Greg Gard is a hell of a lot smarter than people might want to give him credit for. And I think he's a lot tougher, too. He may not have that physical presence about him the way other coaches do. He's a pretty tough dude. So I think that has allowed him to navigate this stuff and be able to put together teams that are very, very competitive at worst, and Big Ten championship winning, or at least contending multiple times in his time as the head coach.
Yeah, I just love the guy, and I'm happy that he's having success. All right, I am curious. Tausch isn't this person, but he says, wake me in March when it comes to college basketball, except for the Badgers. The number of games that have been on Peacock have prevented me from watching them as much as I normally do. I appreciate it when they air on regular television or on cable because it's more my viewing approach. I always like to sync up the audio like I do with the football games so we can listen to you. And when Jesse someday takes over, I'll stop doing that. But I am curious, when you look at some of these players on this roster, when you look at Tonje, when you look at Blackwell, maybe even Max Klesmit, who, I like to joke, reminds me of Tim Locum. Are there comps for the guys that you've covered and you've called their games before? Like, do you see similarities in John Tonje's game or in Blackwell's game that you've seen from other players, or are they unique players that you haven't seen very often during your time calling these games?
Yeah, I guess I haven't thought of it that way. I think if Max got a mullet, the Tim Locum comp would really that would be in play more.
He should think about that. Yeah,
he should. I'll bring that up when I see him later today.
And he'll say who?
No, exactly. I said, ask your parents. Ask your parents. Hard to believe. Still the all-time leader in three-point percentage, I believe, in Wisconsin. Loki, pride of Florida, Illinois. I haven't. I think Max was a guy that when he transferred back to the home state because he was at Wofford for 2 years, there was a comp where he had some of that toughness of a Gosser, a Brad Davison type of player. There's a grittiness to him that I think has been demonstrated. Not to mention these heaters that he's had in his career where he's scoring 16, 18, 20 straight points. Maybe he hasn't had one of those yet this season, but he's had multiple personal scoring runs like that. But otherwise, I think there is a uniqueness to this team, and I think the beauty of this team, and hopefully it'll continue to be the case, is that this team has more depth than previous years. I mean, the development of Kamari McGee, who's 55% as a three-point shooter, Carter Gilmore, getting better and better on the offensive end, Jack Janicki, who's had a couple big games, including what he did Saturday after Kamari was ejected with the flagrant 2. And that's the one thing that I think they lacked last year when they got through the Big Ten tournament. They had guys who were really hurting physically. Wall, Klesmit, Chucky he was banged up, and there wasn't that productive depth off the bench that it looks like this team has this year.
Matt, what'd you think of that? I heard what you thought, but what do you do about the McGee flagrant? Because it sounds as if everybody thought, okay, I can understand if you go with the lighter flagrant, but to throw him out of the game, and I was lamenting this in my crusty stage until you joined us, these guys work too hard to take these opportunities. That is a big boy game on Saturday. And to take him out of that second half was preposterous. Is there anything Matt Lepay as commissioner would be able to do to rectify that? Because I feel the same way with football. If it's egregious, fine. But if it's not, you can't suspend a guy for the next game. There's only so many of these opportunities that these kids get.
I think you got to change the wording of the rule. I think the wording of the rule put these guys in a tough spot. These guys, meaning the officials, because the wording of the rule, there's various bullet points to a flagrant 2. One of them is any contact by the offending player to the groin area of an opponent, which is not clearly accidental. And then there's the potential for serious injury as a result of the contact. But the way that line is, which is not clearly accidental, it's almost written as though there's a presumption of guilt here. I mean, this was kind of a bang-bang play here where he's chasing a guy around.
Could have been an illegal screen.
Yeah, it could have been, but I don't think it was. Okay. I know some people were claiming it was. I don't think
Rob
it was.
Tomofsky.
But
Demo.
Yeah, well, he knows his hoops. We know that, but I don't think in this case that it was necessarily. But you are talking about Kamari McGee, who's listed at 6 feet, 6 feet tall, and the guy who's at the screen is listed at 6'9". So I don't. it's hard to convince, I think, most people who are watching this without a dog in the fight that he actually meant to hit the guy where he hit him. It just, to me, it seemed clearly accidental. But I don't think that's the Badger goggles that are on there. I think I'd look back and listen back to what Bill Raftery said, and I think a lot of other people that that's a tough one. But I do think the wording of the rule put this officiating crew in a bad spot. And those guys have been around for a while. I've known DJ Carstensen, one of the guys there for quite a while. He wasn't the one who blew the whistle there, but they're all looking at it. You want to get it right, but I just think the wording of it needs to be changed. Now, whether it will, that's anybody's guess. But that's a tough one, and at any time. But could you imagine, as important as this game was Saturday, you get into an NCAA tournament game or something like that happens? That's a tough thing for a player.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, speaking of that, before we get to something that Jesse's got for you, I got one question that we've been asked to ask. But before that, here's my issue with where we're at in college athletics on this, and you and Tausch deal with this in football as well with targeting. If we're going to... I actually think the NFL needs to take a cue from college sports and review those types of penalties. Same with the face mask on quarterbacks that they kept missing during the course of the year. But if you have the review option and you still kind of feel like you get it wrong, that's where I really get frustrated. Do you see this shifting in both football and basketball so this doesn't happen quite as often, that it looks this way?
Yeah, well, to me, the way to answer that would be if it's going to take you 3 or 4 minutes to view it, if you can't make a determination within a minute and a half, then maybe you just you go with what you called on the floor. You're not upgrading something. I'm a believer. As frustrating as the stoppages can be, I'm still a believer in replay. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's going to correct a lot of things. I'm not convinced that what was done Saturday was the right thing, but I can understand the position they were in. But I just think there's got to be a faster way to do this. I'll never forget in that Elite Eight game in Anaheim in 2014, there was a ball was batted out of bounds, Wisconsin, Arizona, 1-point game, and it was 5 minutes that they spent reviewing that before they gave Arizona one final shot. If you can't do this quickly, then let's move on here. But there's another thing with basketball too, guys, is that the goaltending call, which it can't be reviewed until the next media timeout. There was an Illinois-Michigan State game over the weekend that meant it was like 3 or 4 game minutes went off the clock before the next media timeout before they overturned a goaltending call. So the score was adjusted by 2 points 3+ minutes, game minutes later. You got to be able to let's do this right away and get it done and move forward.
You guys are a couple old crusts. Look at you two.
We are, except we're much more pleasant about it. So, Matt, I'm curious. We got a text message from on the Carbless Talking text line. Liz is more. Does this team remind you in any way of the 2015 team? We went through how those guys. We went through how Tanjay and Blackwell are unique players. We all want to make comparisons because it helps us. It makes things more easy to digest or understand. Do you see those comps with the 15 team, or is that convenient because that's a Final Four team?
No, I think the biggest comp is just how efficient they were offensively. That 15 team was the most efficient offense in the country. It played at a slower tempo than this team, but it was ridiculously efficient. And this team is among the most efficient teams in the country. But I think it's, otherwise, I don't know. Some of the analytics are probably pretty close, but that's going to bore people, so I won't go down that path.
That never stops us on this show normally.
How does that relate to the Packers?
Exactly. How does that relate to getting a number one receiver, for crying out loud? You got to help Jordan Love a little bit more. But anyway, I digress. No, I think that team had depth. Trey Jackson gets hurt. You bring Bronson Koenig shines. Duye Dukin can come off the bench and hit shots for you. This team has some of that, but that team had 2 first-round draft picks in Kaminsky and Decker. I don't know that there's a first-round draft pick on this team, but there is a nature. The one thing that's similar, and I saw this 3 years ago too, with the last team that beat Purdue and Mackey. They ended up winning a share of the Big Ten championship. Johnny Davis and those guys. These guys do seem to like being around one another on the floor and off the floor. There's a little bit of a goofy nature to a lot of these guys, which is a good thing. You know, I think in pro sports, maybe like other pro sports, Major League pro sports, you don't have to be best buddies. But I think these guys, they do like to be together in bigger groups off the floor. So that's something that I think those 2 teams and others in between have had in common.
Well, and that's not for nothing, given the world of NIL and the transfer portal, to be able to have a team with that kind of chemistry. Hopefully they don't end up like the 2015 team and have, well, I guess Coach K's retired, so he can't screw them out of a national title. All right. Well, you feel the same way. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
So, Matt.
Yeah, Winslow touched it. We all know that. If you know, you know what I'm
we do
talking
know
about.
that, indeed. And it doesn't take. It took us 10 years to announce that. So, Jesse has something for you.
Are you trying to get him to do Bowl Stream TV again?
Dad.
We got the
that's
state
so
bowling
creepy
championships
and
coming
weird. I hate it when you do that.
It's weird, but it's kind of funny.
Nepotism in the business. It gets you a long way.
Not very far for you, apparently.
I got to get better at it. Bowl Stream TV, you know, the high school bowling state championships are coming up, but as are the high school basketball playoffs. And I was calling a game a few weeks ago solo. Dennis Semrau was not with me. I was all by my lonesome. Thought we were going to have a really competitive game. Ended up being a bit of a blowout between Vel Phillips Memorial and Sun Prairie East. So I wanted to know, it's a business, and we're always trying to find opportunities to grow the business. So I was wondering what my fake dad thought of how I handled some downtime near the end of the game. Here is a small snippet of our broadcast on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania.
Oh, God.
By the way, I did want to give a shout-out. I was asked to do so by one of the ladies working the concession stand here tonight at Vel Phillips Memorial High School. I asked for something to have before the game. Got a Rice Krispie treat, one of the baked goods that was a special for $1.50 here. And she said that's the official treat of the Madison Memorial basketball team this year. So Rice Krispies are looking for any type of endorsement opportunity. I am interested. 23 seconds to go.
That's tremendous. Oh, absolutely! You are learning fast, son. I mean, let me take a look at Tausch every commercial break. Mark Tauscher here or I've got my share of those too.
I was going to say, I learned from watching you, Dad.
We actually worked on that, Brian Butch and I, because one of the promotions and the timeouts down at the Purdue game. You guys are all familiar with St. Elmo's in Indianapolis, right?
The steakhouse, great sauce, shrimp sauce.
Free advertising.
And there was a shrimp cocktail consumption contest during one of the timeouts, and the contestants were shaking because if you've ever had that cocktail sauce, it is really good, but it is fire. Your mouth is on fire. And they were shaking, but we were, trying to finagle a way to, if nothing else, get our bosses to buy us dinner at St. Elmo's down at the Big Ten tournament. So, Jesse, I think that's Rice Krispies is a good start, and then you can maybe elevate that into, Rare, Roost Chris, whatever.
There you go.
Try to get and then put it on Evan Cohen's tab.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jesse, I think
the Godfather just spinning out knowledge, man. That's what this is all about.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Maybe you should aim a little lower and just try and get an endorsement deal with the Madison Memorial concession stand.
Get a licorice
and be able
whip.
to eat free there whenever. Matt,
got to walk before you can run. Got to walk before you run.
Matt, I'm sorry we didn't get some more Packers talk with you. We always love it when you make time for us. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.
Go, Pack, go. Take care, boys.
That is Matt Lepay, the voice of Badger basketball and Badger football. You can hear him. I always use the Varsity app to then tap in and match it up with the broadcast. It makes it very easy to do, especially if you have a DVR on your cable, so you can pause it and sync it up that way. We're all synced up on YouTube. We got a few comments I want to get to there. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Peace.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
Drum roll, please.
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in-store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why less is more with Carbliss. Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
The new year is here, and we all know it's the perfect time to hit the reset button. Let's be real, guys. Feeling confident in how you look and feel isn't just for women. That's where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. From now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering exclusive packages to help you start 2025 as a more confident you. Whether it's weight loss plans or even IV therapy, Quintessa has personalized options backed by medical experts to help you look and feel your absolute best. Visit myquintessa.com to learn more. Make 2025 the year you feel confident inside and out.
Love is in the air at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This February, play to your heart's content in the Love It or Leave It $300,000 game show. Thursday night, you could love your prize or leave it for another. For a chance to cuddle up to thousands in cash and prizes, just play using your rewards card. Get ready to love it or leave it. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
The wait is over. Brewers baseball is back. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Be here for opening day. Come back for the big games and the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's opening day and every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Lepay, we always love it when he makes time for us. I know he listens to the show regularly, so I apologize for that. We'll get to more Packers talk in the 11 o'clock hour. Jesse, have you considered, I don't know, what games do you have coming up that you'll be calling on Prep Mania moving forward here?
Oh, we've got a whole schedule that we're finalizing for the postseason, but girls, boys, we cover it all through the sectionals, and then the boys' state tournament at the Kohl Center. We're all over that.
And
on
we're going to be able
ESPN
to beat
Madison.
Verona in girls' hoops.
Verona underseeded by the WIAA computers. They are a 4 seed.
Oh, they only lost like 1 or 2 games.
And, they valued some other teams in the area ahead of Verona. So we'll see how they do there. There's a couple of decent girls squads in the area, in the Madison area this year. But a lot of great talent around the state. Excited to see who gets to the Kohl Center for the boys tournament, too.
Well, at least the WIAA didn't inadvertently leave them out of the tournament entirely, as they may have done with some football teams.
There's no may, they did. Been proven.
Yes, indeed, that's true.
But they did say sorry.
They did apologize, yeah. That really helps those kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesse, the reason I ask what the schedule is, I didn't expect you to rattle off all the games you've got on the docket. Have you considered more shameless schmoozing of the concession stands at your future games to get some more free snacks as you call the various games around the area?
Yeah, it'll be a new pregame feature, I think. I know Dennis is in. I know that guy's signing up for some grub anytime we can get it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you know exactly what it means. It's pizza
Skinny
slices.
Jesse's kind of a jerk.
Rice Krispies, bottles of water, whatever they got. We're interested. Coming to a concession stand near you on Prep Mania.
I think we do have a potential for a very fun segment where you can talk about the best snacks that each concession stand has. Hopefully you've got your best questions ready because it's time for trivia. Jesse, what's today's category and what caller would you like?
All right, so a quick trivia reminder this week. We will be playing trivia Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. So today we have a college basketball weekend recap. I watched a lot of college hoops this weekend, so a lot of Prize Picks wins, and I'm very up to date on the latest happenings in the world of college basketball. So that's today's trivia. We'll do a triple Wisconsin geography Wednesday on Wednesday, and then we'll figure out whatever we're going to do on Friday.
And I'm doing all three of those. You didn't change the plan there? You didn't shift it to one for you, one for me, one for Up North Joe?
If you want them, they're all you.
All right. I just want to make sure that that's the plan. I will be happy to do that. I will have my 9 questions ready. Jesse, you have 3 questions ready for today. Which caller do you want?
Wisconsin was ranked 16th when they defeated Purdue on Saturday, so let's go with caller 16.
Caller 16 plays trivia next, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 16 plays trivia, and they do it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Only Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. While we wouldn't say driving is a strong suit,
don't give me the bus to drive on a Monday.
We're still putting these Packers trades in the fast lane.
Did you yell America when you hit the accelerator?
So Myles Garrett says he wants out. Show of hands, who thinks Myles Garrett would upgrade the Packers' pass rush? Chewy, are you raising your hand?
There's
a
sign
of a cross. Praying for Myles
It's
Garrett?
time to pray, Gabe.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Advent knows.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. I have a question for you business owners. How do your books look? Are they ready for your tax return to be prepared? Did you and your accountant talk during the year and develop a plan to minimize your tax bill? Or does this sound like you? You can never get a hold of your CPA. Phone calls are not returned and questions are never answered. Your books are a mess and the bank account hasn't been reconciled since last year. You don't get any advice to help you run your business. That's not the case with the Neal Group. We are advocates and partners with our clients to help them grow. We like to work with you throughout the year to keep your books up to date so you run your business profitably. Are you ready to grow your business, improve cash flow, have less stress, and live a better life? We can help. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net to book a meeting and see if we can help. The first meeting is free. Don't wait. Do it now. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, for your forever true and your fur kids too. For all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call John Saganiak Jr. John Saganiak Jr., Saganiak Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiak Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiak Planning Marquette Basketball Greatest Scorers. Career points is nice, but the best way to judge scoring, points per game. Marquette's top 10 points per game. Number 1, Marcus Howard. Then George Thompson, Dwayne Wade, Jim Jones, and Dean Meminger, the top 5. Don Kojas, Mike Moran, Bob Wolf, Terry Rand, and Tom Flynn, the rest of the top 10, got to be above 16 per game to make the list. Over 20 points per game for a career, only Marcus Howard and George Thompson.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
What I want, you got, and it might be hard to handle. But like a flame that burns a candle, the candle feeds the flame. Yeah, what I got.
Time now for trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Vern in Waterloo. Vern, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
I'm thinking maybe I need to get Waterloo into my Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia on Wednesday, since I'll have 9 questions to work with.
20 minutes east of Madison. Some Prairie. It goes Madison, some Prairie, Marshall, Waterloo.
Yeah, right off Highway 19.
Remember, I covered a lot of high school sports.
Beautiful
during
bike
my
country
career.
out there. Beautiful bike country.
Especially if you have an e-bike, from what I understand. All right, let's play some trivia. Let's welcome. Let's
Kraut
play
and Wiener Fest too, by the way.
What?
Kraut and Wiener Fest out in Waterloo.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it backwards, so it's Wiener and Kraut Day. Not Kraut and Wiener, Wiener and Kraut.
I've only been once.
Do you put kraut on a hot dog? I've only seen kraut with brats and knockwurst and various wursts.
Knockwurst. I did not have that word on my bingo card today.
So, yes, you do? Vern?
Yes, you do. Yes, lots of it.
All right. Love some.
It makes it from a hot dog into like a sandwich. That's what we, it's like it's substance to it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Tausch, you're a kraut guy?
Love kraut. Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. What do you think? I mean, come on. Do I not look like a kraut guy? All right.
Definitely not going anywhere near that. Are you? Wait a minute. Are you actually participating in trivia today?
Oh, I actually got the question, so yeah, I can read them when I get them. Guys, don't send them. I'm fine. Listen, I'm fine not. I'm fine doing it, but I'm ready to go.
The floor is yours.
Vern.
You and Vern.
Which traditional football rivalry game featured the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in men's college basketball over the weekend?
Auburn, Alabama.
Bam! Bam! Put some crowd on that.
Vern coming in hot.
Vern, I do have to ask. And I don't want your social security number, your annual income, or your weight. But how old are you?
Okay. I will be 48 in a week. I'm a 95 grad.
Yes.
All right. So
happy birthday,
happy
Vern.
birthday.
Yeah.
Love a good February
You
birthday.
thought he was
It's a
old
great
because you
time.
don't think anybody's called Vern anymore.
No.
That's what you thought.
No. Would you like to tell me what I think?
Yeah, I just said it.
I know. When I hear Vern, I think of Ernest. Hey, Vern! Did you get that growing up, or are you young enough that Jim Varney character was not a factor for you?
I got it growing up. You see, if you look at my 4th grade picture, it looks like the movie Stand By Me, the short fat kid with the crew cut. That's kind of how I got it.
That we all get. Yeah,
school.
nice. Sweet. All right, good, because that's what I thought of when I saw your name.
I think
pop up.
Lundquist.
Yeah, it's Vern Lundquist. It's not close.
No, it's Jim Varney saying, "Hey, Vern."
Yeah, I'm sure. You stick with your Varney Hill. Go on your Varney Hill, but I'm guessing Vern Lundquist is the first.
Hey, Vern! Question 2.
I like the cheese, too.
Yeah.
Vern cheese?
Yeah, I forgot. It's not an ice cream, though. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Well, Nelly, indeed. Vern, question 2 is this. Entering play today, which men's college basketball team is in first place in the Big East Conference standings? Is it Creighton?
St. John.
Marquette?
Dude, he's not doing multiple choice. He's not doing multiple. Vern ain't about that life. He doesn't need multiple choice. It's 2 for 2.
Hey, Vern, Tausch has question 3.
All right. Do you want to try and guess before I read the question to see how good you are? No. As of right now, I think you can get this, though. As of right now, which of these Big Ten teams is the number 1 ranked team in women's college basketball?
UCLA.
This is unprecedented. This is unprecedented. By Vern.
Vern, you're the Kiki Rice of trivia
Did you
today.
say the Kinky Rice?
Kiki Rice. She's the star guard for UCLA. She's one of Sid's favorite players. She's really, really good. And you were really, really good today. You are 3 for 3 without even needing the multiple choice options.
I thought
on
USC
any
had like the best player in the country, right?
Juju.
Yeah, it's a Juju.
Yeah, we prefer Kiki over Juju.
USC did beat
house.
UCLA on Thursday night, so UCLA won't be number 1 whenever they unveil the next rankings.
Okay.
It's a heck of a rivalry they got going on in LA there in the Big Ten.
Big Ten country.
Vern,
yeah.
We have to throw Vern another entry or something. That's unprecedented. It's never happened.
It's an incredible performance.
That's what unprecedented means. It's never happened.
But Vern can check the official contest rules at ESPN Wisconsin contest.com to see that he will receive no additional entries.
When's the last time those
despite
rules
the
have been
impressive
updated?
Performance. It's been a minute.
All right, it's time to update them, and that needs to be update 1.
Take it up with the competition committee.
All right.
If I may, I'd like to say goodbye to Vern now, if I could.
Sure.
Vern, you did an outstanding job. Thanks for playing. Happy early birthday to you. You got 4 entries into Friday's drawing. We'll see if you emerge victorious. Thanks, buddy.
All right. That's very, very, very frustrating. Love you guys.
Very, very, very frustrating.
I love you guys.
Has Vern called before? I feel like I'd remember Vern.
He's texted before.
I don't. Was he not a first-time caller?
No, he said he played trivia before the holidays.
Okay.
So I didn't remember it. But
all right.
That's what Vern says.
Really well done.
Take Vern for
he
his
didn't
word.
make the impression that he did today last time.
I almost feel like I know you got 9 questions to write, and I'm not going to tell you how to do your business.
But you're about to.
I think they should all be fill in the blank. I do.
What?
Vern just did fill in the blank. He did. He didn't do multiple choice. He wasn't about that. So now you're going to give tests to people, and it's, you're all multiple choice, but Vern did a fill in the blank. Vern did essay. What's more fair? I don't know. I mean, I understand. I get it. Nobody forced that upon Vern. But Vern, anytime somebody grabs initiative like that, I think you should be rewarded. Just my own opinion.
Just because Vern runs up the score on one game, like just because the Patriots in whatever year that was scored 60 in a couple of games doesn't mean everybody's got to score 60 every week. It was just impressive for the Patriots.
Yeah, the 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
That weird Wisconsin weather is here. Snow one day, sun the next. But you can always count on Tsunami Express to keep your car clean. With 6 locations across southeastern Milwaukee, Tsunami Express helps fight that salt, grime, and mud with powerful vacuums and state-of-the-art wash technology. Technology like their best-in-class T2 with graphene for a long-lasting shine and protection. Stop at any Tsunami Express location and get your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Terms and conditions apply. First wash free for new members only.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins on a Monday morning with Saturday Night Live. Tausch, are you an SNL guy?
Man, I used to love SNL. I thought...
Like you used to love Howard Stern?
No, I never loved Howard Stern. I appreciated Howard Stern's interviewing abilities. Saturday Night Live in the 90s was everything. We talked about it as kids, and the Sandler, Farley, Phil Hartman, Jan Hooks. That era was kind of that's where I really loved. Then Will Ferrell crushed it for a while, and then it kind of fell off the map for me, if I'm being honest about it.
Well, the good news is that they had a lot of the stars of that era and of all their eras back for the 50th anniversary celebration. Jesse, you watched a lot of it. I watched some clips. I didn't have time. We got back late from the volleyball tournament last night.
No Wi-Fi, I heard, so you couldn't listen.
Yeah, there was no Wi-Fi. It was really irritating. Yeah, very irritating.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Like, I'm not a diehard SNL guy like I know many are, where it's like appointment viewing each week. But I do enjoy, especially like the nostalgic skits that you've seen from over time. And then even some of the newer stuff has been better than I think it was, I don't know, a decade ago or so. It's just cool to see when there's that much star power all in one place, and you're bringing back characters of past years, and you're weaving it in and like doing these like crossover type things with different characters, celebrities in the stands with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler doing like a Q&A with everybody. Like, it was really cool seeing the entire thing last night. It felt in a way like watching the Super Bowl. Not like the numbers are the same by any means, but
watching the Super Bowl.
Because it felt like a television event that you wanted to watch live and be a part of. And whether you're streaming it on Peacock, you're watching it on NBC, like it's one of the few TV events where I felt like it's 7 o'clock rolled around last night, and I asked, like, Beck and I were watching this Paradise show on Hulu, which is really good. Fast, a great twist in the first episode. Highly recommend. But I was like, can we turn on the SNL reunion? Like, and she didn't care much for it, but I felt like it was something you almost had to watch to feel like you were part of the cultural experience that it was.
Is there ever a time you get to just turn on what you want?
Yeah.
No, I'm just curious because Becca, is there? Because you're always buried in the basement with your baby phone, and then here you're saying this is like the Super Bowl to you, and you're asking Becca if you could please turn the TV onto that channel rather than watching Hulu. Like, I'm just curious.
I'm not saying it was the Super Bowl to me. I'm saying the experience of watching it live and reacting and following on social media. And
check the tape.
Seeing what people are saying about each of the different skits or the performances as they go on. It was like watching the Super Bowl commercials a week or two ago. Like, that's what it felt like watching this thing last night. And yes, I said I would like to watch this. She said, let's watch it. So I determined.
Well, you kind of just changed your tune, but that's fine. So what was the best thing that you saw on there?
Adam Sandler's song.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Adam Sandler's song was by far the best thing that they did last night.
Is he the biggest? Who is, of the 50 years this has been on, who is the biggest, baddest star of all time?
Eddie Murphy.
Okay. I would disagree.
I think Sandler.
Bill Murray.
It's Sandler or Farrell. It's one of those two to me. That's not Palmin. That's not Palmin.
No, but it's bias for your era, right? Like, I wasn't.
Will Ferrell is. Maybe a little bit, but not really. I mean, I would say Farley if I was really being biased, but too short of a runway.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking in terms of Eddie Murphy was like the king in terms of like box office success in the late 80s and early 90s, right? Whether it was Beverly Hills Cop or everything
Nash
else.
was the worst. Pluto Nash had the worst return on investment in the history of movies. Check it. Check it, Jesse. Pluto Nash. Brutal movie. But yet, I think at that point, you're right, Jason. I mean, Eddie Murphy, and I don't know how many years he was on SNL, but I thought last night when he was on Jeopardy was really funny. Like, really funny.
Am I the only one that on the video stream has Tausch frozen looking at his phone with his head down?
Oh.
Or is that all of us?
Yeah, look, that is a thing. All right.
Okay.
Missed that.
Just wanted to clarify on that.
Let's do this for the time being.
If you missed the SNL reunion, they also had a big concert with a bunch of different performers. You can catch that on Peacock. I know Tausch will be tuning into that coming up. All right, I do want to get back to the conversation that I had with Alex Strofe yesterday on Sunday Karma about his.
Which character do you think is the greatest character? Like Toontz's The Driving Cat was great, but it was just limited run. The Church Lady was great. I think, and won that last night, Debbie Downer's great. I think Debbie Downer
good.
Very underrated. Why Kim Kardashian was in there, somebody has to explain that to me. Like the 50 years of SNL, and you're going to highlight Kim Kardashian. Okay. I don't get it. She was in a big-time skit in that thing. I don't get that. I don't get it. Somebody tell me.
I mean, that's the star power, and when you say like the amount of celebrity that was involved in this entire operation last night. Like Meryl Streep was in one of the skits.
I have no problem with Meryl Streep being in it.
Kim Kardashian was in one of the skits. Peyton Manning made an appearance in the crowd. Like it was a whole slew of who's who, celebrity-wise, were there. Like I think the significance of that is to show the cultural impact that show has had over 50 years on how we consume media.
It's a Super Bowl of culture.
Yes,
some would say.
I have in front of me. I won't do all 50, but Rolling Stone ranked the 50 greatest characters in SNL history.
Okay.
How deep into the list would you like me to go?
10.
Can I start?
I don't want to be 50.
Oh no, I was going to go 20 because it's Gene Frankel, the more cowbell guy, and I know you're a Will Ferrell guy.
That's down at 20?
He's 20th.
Okay,
yes.
I was a big fan of that one.
All right. Number 19, David S. Pumpkins, Tom Hanks's character. Number 18, Kristen Wiig's Mindy Grayson. Number 17, Opera Man, as played by Adam Sandler.
Top 10.
Another one of your favorites.
Should have been top 10. Yep, continue.
16, Miss Colleen Rafferty, Kate McKinnon's character.
Top 10.
15, Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
Don't even know who it
Number
is.
14, Nat X, played by Chris Rock.
Okay.
Number 13, The Samurai, played by John Belushi. Number 12, one of my favorites, Linda Richman. Coffee Talk.
Okay,
Mike
that was
Myers.
a funny one. That was a funny one.
Number 11, The Wild and Crazy Guys.
Oh, D.A.
Dan Aykroyd,
Yep.
Steve Martin. All right, now we're into the top 10.
Thank God.
I'm Gumby, damn it! As played by Eddie Murphy.
All
Number
right.
10. Number 9, Dieter, would you like to touch my monkey?
The old sprocketer.
This is the part on Sprockets where we dance.
That was a good
Number
one.
8, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. Stuart Smalley.
Very good.
Played by Al Franken. Number 7, Nick the Lounge Singer, as portrayed by Bill Murray. 7th. Number 6, another one of our favorites. He and I share a birthday. He would have been 61 on Saturday. Chris Farley's Matt Foley.
Is that the that was the motivational speaker? That's the band guy. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5, Dan Aykroyd's Irwin Mainway. I think that's a little bit older than you and I were for Saturday Night Live. Number 4, the aforementioned Debbie Downer. Wah, wah.
Was Mr. Subliminal in part of this? Because Subliminal Man was great too. I don't know if that's a top 10.
I did not start at 50,
Thank
so I'll have
God.
to go back and look at the commercial.
All right.
Are you telling? Just
No.
in fairness,
I'm just
would
having
you
some
not
fun.
say that this has been a pretty good
We're just
find?
having a little fun. We're having some fun.
Pluto
Find you
Nash, a
fun.
$100 million budget, made $7 million at the box office.
Big failure.
Yeah,
Big failure. Not as
Blockbuster.
successful as another character played by Eddie Murphy, Mr. Robinson of Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. A classic. Number 2,
Church lady.
Wayne and Garth.
Yeah, I think it made a couple
package
movies.
deal.
Yep.
In case you're wondering, the church lady on this list checking in, Dana Carvey's character, 41st.
Yeah.
But number 1,
Yeah.
at least according to the good people at Rolling Stone magazine, your number 1 ranked character in the history of Saturday Night Live.
Who would you guess, Jesse, without knowing?
Oh gosh.
Would you like? How about I give you? A? You're never gonna get it.
All right.
How about I give you the actor and see if you can get it?
I don't know if
I
I'm
was
good enough to
surprised
do
by
this.
I don't necessarily agree.
I'm sure I won't then. Okay.
I was going to
no,
say
I-
the Blues Brothers, and because
All right, Jason, let's hear the actor, and we'll see if we can piece it together.
Bill Hader is the actor.
Is it the Night at the Roxbury dude?
No, I'll have to look to see where those guys ranked. I expected them to be higher
That was
as
a
well.
good character. Okay, so who is it?
Stefan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's number 1?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm very surprised by that. I will have to find. I don't know what the name.
What
of
is Will Ferrell's besides Cowbell Dude? What other one was he known for? Like the Jeopardy guys didn't make it.
Trebek is what I would know.
Trebek should have been top 10. Well, all right.
Will Ferrell's characters. I'll have to look into that. There's too many options here in the Rolling Stone rundown. But those are the 50 characters. We just did 20 of them. There's a couple other ones there that I'm not allowed to probably say on the radio. The blank in the box with Andy Samberg.
They did do a funny...
Shveddy.
I don't think that's SNL though.
Oh, that was definitely SNL. Yeah, AG knows all about Shveddy balls. He's all about that.
Whoa, Nelly!
That's the name of the show.
They did a funny in memoriam where they said like all of their old skits that are nowadays viewed inappropriate.
I saw that.
They wrote them off,
What
which was really good.
A few? Was that one of them?
I can't even remember what all of them. There were too many. It was like every time they did, inappropriate makeup and accents and.
Blues Brothers were 34th on this list. I am not seeing Buckwheat was 25. I am not seeing the Night at the Roxbury guys. They did not make the top 50.
Interesting.
The Bears through the Bill Swirsky superfans checked in at 22, by the way, which I did enjoy that one. All right. One of the other things that we enjoyed, at least over the weekend, were multiple stops, including when I had to try and do radio since I had no signal, at Quick Trip.
Pretty heroic by Jason to be able to do that. Life is busy. We all know that. And Quick Trip, better than anybody, gets it. And whether you're craving that fresh coffee, a tasty bakery treat, or a quick grab-and-go meal or snack, Quick Trip is your go-to. And right now, Jason mentioned it earlier. There's apps everywhere. There's corn dogs, a nice juicy hot dog, no kraut,
supple,
coated in a crispy, golden, delicious cornmeal batter. You can also grab a pizza. We grabbed a pothole pizza this weekend, crispy crust, savory sauce, piled high with cheese. But wait, there's more, because there's always more. Quickery Parfait, $1.99. You can get dinner ideas with taco meat filling packs or a pothole pizza I mentioned just for $7.99. Plus the mozzie sticks. Love them. Cheese curds, mini tacos, and it's freezing outside again. So how about a big old bag of soup? Soup bags on special for $6.99 on Tuesday. And I can't get through talking about Quick Trip without mentioning the chicken today. Monday, $6.99 for a whole roasted chicken. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. Order ahead or pick up curbside delivery. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time.
I did consider the corn dog, and I believe I said to Sydney, who was standing next to me, would you like to try a crispy, golden, supple corn dog? And she said no. She was not interested in the corn dog. I did pick up my 15 visits, though, when we stopped.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yesterday,
That's
which was pretty
accomplishment.
nice.
What's your little treat?
I'm at 76, by the way, right now, because I used some of them on a treat.
What's
I
your
went
reward
Long
of
John
choice?
for a donut yesterday to go along with. Jesse, when you switch to 3 cameras, we got frozen Tausch'S.
He's just asleep when we go to bringing me in.
Yeah, well, I know the feeling.
That's why it's all sometimes. Yep.
Whoa, Nelly!
Yep.
Appreciate that.
You bet.
We'll see you next time. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school.
You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
When it comes to used cars, there's the rest. Then there's the best. Shop Ewald Automotive Group's best used cars right now, starting under $15,000. Choose from hundreds of hand-selected quality used vehicles, all with a 133-point inspection, all with a 3-day exchange policy, all starting under $15,000. Forget the rest. Drive the best. Get Ewald's best used cars starting under $15,000.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
See dealer for complete details. Exclusions may apply.
When that nonstop pain starts swelling up in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, that's when you know it's time to go to QC Kinetics. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. My experience with QC Kinetics has been unbelievable. When I went there myself, I was amazed at the state-of-the-art treatments and how they met me exactly where I was in diagnosing me and putting on a personal path toward recovery. When I hear all the testimonials of people going to QC Kinetics that finally get rid of their pain, it's unbelievable to hear that they are experiencing a new life after their treatments with QC Kinetics. Their ability to use cutting-edge regenerative treatments, including PRP, plasma, platelets, things that you only hear about theoretically, but when you can see with your own two eyes, you see why they are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. If you're finally ready to get rid of that joint pain and start living the life that you want to in 2025, call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Each year, more than 23,000 kids experience cardiac arrest, and nearly 20% are infants. Every second counts in a cardiac emergency. Did you know performing CPR on a child or infant can double or even triple their chances of survival? This Heart Month, the American Heart Association and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee urge you to learn child and infant CPR and be ready to save the lives of those you love. Know CPR so you are ready when you bring your baby home, ready as your child grows, and ready when it matters most. To learn more, visit heart.org.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but they didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not recorded properly or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit neilgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Getting ready for Whoa Nelly. Jesse, did you, we asked about my weekend. We didn't really ask about Tausch'S. He didn't offer anything. Usually just offers it up. How was your weekend? Did you get some materials for your Tausch? I don't know what you said there. It sounded great, though.
My mistake.
What happened?
I didn't have something punched.
Oh, good stuff.
We were doing a commercial break project.
I will mute myself.
No. You can say whatever you said. No one heard it as well.
What do you have? How was your weekend, Jesse?
We had a great weekend. We had a couple of friends over Friday night, kind of parlayed into a big day Saturday, too. Big day watching the Badgers basketball game against Purdue. Also had a big day watching Bradley defeat Drake on ESPN 2 on Sunday afternoon. So nice college basketball winning weekend for me. Our Valentine's celebrations, not as much at the forefront, as was prognosticated when we talked about it on Friday morning.
It's the Kemper Open.
Did you guys do the big Valentine's deal like we had talked about on Friday, or did you keep it Kemper Opened, Old T? You.
So, luckily, I have a Zimbrick Chevy Tahoe because the roads were not great. And we did go to a fantastic, just Sarah and I had a fantastic night out, and we plowed through the snow. And again, Jason said this on our Feel Good Friday on Friday. They did enough, the plows. And then by Saturday, we had a tournament. It was clear sailing Saturday morning about 8:30. So, yes, we plowed through, thanks to the team over at Zimbrick Chevy in Sun Prairie to make sure that rig can get through it. And we had a fantastic time, yes.
So I'm still on the De Pere basketball email distribution list, even though my kids don't play for De Pere or go to De Pere. And I've gotten a reminder about the Redbird Code of Conduct in my email. Do you think Domofsky lost his... Do you think he maybe lost his...
Why are you getting
cool?
emails from the De Pere High School then?
I don't know, because...
Is it because you sat under their bleachers and they probably were like, who's this?
Connected to the Wi-Fi.
Who's this dude sitting under our bleachers typing?
They do have great Wi-Fi at De Pere High School, by the way. Much better than they had at this facility we had a volleyball tournament at. No, we actually played in their basketball program for the first couple of years that Sydney was playing basketball, and I was coaching, and we thought that that's where she was going to go to. She and Maddie were going to go to high school, and then we changed course because we would have had to sell our house because we couldn't have gotten into De Pere High School otherwise. So I keep getting these emails, and it is a reminder of your code of conduct. And I thought we could have Domofsky on Friday to discuss his behavior at games, but he's not on anymore. He's going on hiatus.
Yeah.
So I just wondered if maybe he'd misbehaved, and that prompted this missive. All right, we will get to Jesse's weekend and everything else that he's got planned in Whoa Nelly. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by...
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Peter Burns.
I think that Adam Silver finds himself in a moment of crisis right now with the NBA. And I like the NBA. I don't love the NBA, but I like it. And you have the ingredients of a great league. But take last night, for example. The Slam Dunk All-Star Game weekend should have your biggest stars. But when your Slam Dunk contest, one of your cool little niche events that's used as a marketing tool, has to rely on a G League player to save the event, you wonder why the ratings are down. They need to have someone take control. And I think LeBron's too old for that any longer, right? Like I don't need to see LeBron doing the dunk. That'd be like watching Mayweather and Pacquiao fight like 8 years after their prime. I don't need to see that. To me, LeBron disqualifies himself from the greatest of all-time conversation in NBA history because he didn't even do it once.
Something amazing is happening here. AI is increasing workloads on CPUs and GPUs. But this company's laptops are more than keeping pace. That's because CDW worked with them to future-proof their laptop fleet by configuring them with devices enabled with AMD Ryzen AI. Improve performance and free up resources with AMD Ryzen and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/AMD client.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
Fingers come in different sizes.
It's one of the first things you learn as a jeweler.
And a ring can only be sized up or down a little bit.
Which means it's a really good thing to know your ring size.
And it's an even better thing to know their ring size.
This is why we're announcing
the Ring Size Registry at Kessler's.
We're doing it as a public service. It's completely free.
Free. Isn't that a great price?
Here's how it works.
Just drop into any Kessler's Diamonds location and tell one of the owners that you'd like to know your ring size.
Kessler's is an employee-owned company, so whoever greets you at the door is an owner.
They'll determine your ring sizes and add them to our Ring Size Registry.
Then, when someone wants to know your ring size...
Because, maybe they want to surprise you.
All they have to do is call or stop into Kessler's.
Surprises can be fun, don't you think?
We're happy to do this for you, even if you don't buy a ring from us.
But after you take a look around, we think you probably will. Visit KesslersDiamonds.com for a location near you and register your ring sizes today.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Well, let's find out more about Jesse's weekend and whatever else might have been going on in the world of sports. And Pluto Nash box office failures?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a bigger one. Can anybody name a bigger?
Ishtar? Isn't Ishtar known as one of the great box office failures? Dustin Hoffman.
I mean, $100 million back when that was made is probably $300 or $400 million now.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, I tried a quick Google, but it says everything's adjusted for inflation, and that's how they ranked it on Wikipedia, so I don't know if that's the... I don't know. Might have to do a little more digging into that. There is an article up over at ESPNWisconsin.com if we want to talk a little Green Bay Packers for a moment. Matt Lepay likes when we do that. The article asks every member of ESPN's NFL Nation, who would your team be most likely to use the franchise tag on this offseason?
Josh Myers.
Josh Myers
No, it'd be the kicker.
is mentioned by Rob Domofsky.
McManus.
And Brandon McManus, the other.
This sounds crazy. I think Green Bay has to think about it. Because I don't know if you want to sign him long term. Justin Tucker's got a lot of issues brewing in Baltimore. We've seen this movie before.
Yes, he does.
No, I'm not even talking about that. With just kickers. And Goody has struggled. I think the actual smart play, I don't know what the difference in a franchise to a transition tag and all of that would be. And transition is less payment down. I think the Packers should think seriously about tagging him because I don't know. Do you sign him to a 4 or 5 year deal? He will be sought after by other teams. There's a lot of teams need kicking now. Green Bay shorted up finally. Don't make the same mistake twice. I'm on board with them. I think more of a transition tag, but if it's only another $400,000 or $500,000, the difference in a transition to a franchise tag. We don't know yet because they have not given us the salary cap for next year. That should be this week, and then the franchise tag window opens next week. But I don't know. Do you want Green Bay to sign McManus to a 4 or 5 year deal? I want him for next year.
The franchise tag last year for a kicker or punter, which obviously will increase this year, was $5.984 million.
It's a good number. $6 million for a kicker, not bad. I mean, what would you rather see? 3-year, $16.5, $17 million deal with 8 guaranteed, or 1 year, do it again at $6 million? Not going to be up against the cap. You're going to have plenty of space, especially if you get rid of Jair. The salary cap space is going to be, you're going to be fine. I think I want to go year to year with McManus. I don't know if I want to commit to him for 4 or 5 more years.
Okay, so according to overthecap.com, the highest paid kickers in the National Football League based on average per year, the highest paid is Harrison Butker.
Well, you hate that guy.
Chiefs, $6.4 million per year, followed by Jake Elliott of the Eagles, Justin Tucker at $6 million per for the Ravens, Matt Gay for the Colts at 5.6, and Cameron Dicker for the Chargers at 5.5. So you'd be paying literally top dollar for 1 year for Brandon McManus, who, by the way, as great as he was missing only 1 kick once he joined the Packers, did miss a kick in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't want to go down this road again where we're picking up Narvi week 1, week 2. Like, we're now a Super Bowl. There's no longer this growth. We need a kicker that we can trust. I trust McManus. I know he missed a kick in the playoffs. I get it. I did not have doubt about midway through his time in Green. He's going to make kicks. He's not missing. Every time we kicked an extra point with Anders or Narvi, it's like,
yeah, you're right. He made $1.2 million last year.
Yeah, the price last year's price isn't this year's price. He earned it. Pay him for a year. I don't think I want him signed
$6 million
for 5, whatever it's going to be. I'm fine with it. If you want to try and do a 2 or 3 year deal that you can get out after 1 year, fine. And you can spread it down a little bit, but it's the price of doing business, man. And he's worth it. So, not Josh Myers. I don't think they're going to bring Josh back. I know Rob made some really good arguments, and I think Josh is a really solid player. Maybe the market won't bear out what happened with Runyon, and Green Bay is looking at it and say, yeah, we'll bring you. Because I don't think they'd be okay bringing him back. I don't think they want to pay him $12, $13, $14 million bucks a year on a longer deal and lock in. I think they feel like they can get better at that spot. And I think Elton Jenkins is going to be the answer to that question.
I don't know, Jim. But I do think that there's the chance.
If Elton Jenkins goes Instagram into Goody's office, says, I want to play center, and I want to sign a 3-year extension. I want to be the center here for 4 or 5 more years. What's Goody going to say?
What if he walks into Goody's office and says, I don't want to play center, I want to play guard. I want to stay where I am.
Okay,
and I'll sign a 3 or 4 year extension to stay at left guard.
I don't think they're going to pay him. I don't think they're going to pay him at a left guard spot. I think Elton Jenkins would be all right finishing his career in Green Bay with a new deal, being the new center, and then you have to figure out if it's Jordan Morgan, if it's going to be maybe a
Jacob Monk,
a bridge guy, while you let Jordan Morgan, and they're drafting O-lineman this year. I can guarantee that. I think you find out from Elton Jenkins where his head's at. I want Elton Jenkins to finish his career as a Packer. I think that's what Elton Jenkins wants. And if nothing happens this off season, I don't believe he will. Because I think his deal, he's probably already feeling a little underpriced, a little undervalued, and Lord knows all he has to, and his representative have to do is go look at that Philly tape. How'd that work out for you without old EJ in the operation?
Nailed it. He will turn 30 on the day after Christmas. The Green Bay Packers don't like 30-year-olds and don't like giving out third contracts under Brian Gutekunst. Do you firmly believe that he will be the exception that proves the rule. He has 2 years remaining on his existing deal.
Doesn't have any guarantees left, though, I don't think.
No, he does not. His cap number for 2025 with an $11.7 million base salary is $17.6 million. That strikes me as a contract that is begging to be extended to lower his cap number for this year. And then if you decide in 2 years that you don't want to keep him because he's fallen off, you can get out of it then.
This is going to be, to me, a blank or get off the blank deal.
Why did you blank the pot?
All I'm saying is from both sides. Elton is probably looking at it saying, all right, you either want me or you don't. And the Packers are probably thinking, well, let's try and figure something out. It's very interesting because I do agree with you that Goody, when he has paid linemen over 30, it typically has not worked out great. Doesn't mean Elton is a special talent. I think had Elton not gotten hurt, he was on that path. I don't know if he'll be a Hall of Famer now, but he was on that path. Great player. You saw the impact of him not being able to play. That gets in guys' heads, too. And I think they know Elton. They know how he works. They know how he approaches things. I would be more apt to say, let's sign him, get his cap number down, and then give yourself, because how Russ Ball and everybody does it, you get that opportunity to get out after 2 more years. I think that's what's going to end up happening. I do think they should redo and get his deal and then eventually move him to center. I think that's what we're going to see.
We'll see if that happens. Whoa, Nelly?
Great topic, but we should have brought this up earlier. Nelly! We do not talk enough Packers on this show, Jason. I'm leaving this on you today. You weren't even scratching. Your video never froze today. Did you see Jason scratching at all today?
Not at all.
Not even a little bit.
Not a lot happening in the world of the Green Bay Packers.
What are you talking about? There just is a lot happening. I'm thinking
speculation about the franchise tag on the kicker.
But we ended up talking center and left guard and Elton Jenkins.
Extension.
I don't know. I found it interesting because I think
it is interesting.
Both of these positions, we have all of these other grand aspirations that you're talking about on Sunday Carmel with no Wi-Fi. But these are the things right in your snout that are breathing down, saying you got to make a decision here. Because if you let old boy get
right in your snout,
if you let old boy get to free agency, McManus, I don't know if you're going to like where you're at as far as that negotiating. Who knows? Maybe he's going to say you gave me a chance when other teams didn't, and he'll sign for 4 or 5 a year. I don't typically think when you get to this point, I would bet he's going to be close to the top end of the market. And that's why you have to think seriously about some kind of tag.
Again, I don't know if Brandon McManus, who lost his deal with the Washington Commanders because of the allegations that have been put forth toward him. Apparently, that's what's going on with kickers nowadays. The ones toward Justin Tucker, much more severe, it would appear, which he has denied, by the way. I don't know if he's worth $6 million a year to you, and using the franchise.
You know what
tag
it'll be?
on him.
You know when you will know? When you have a 45-yard field goal with the money on the table. $6 million. Jason, here's the deal, and I get this. People do.
You're paying him as much as Harrison Butker.
Okay. You want to win a championship, you got to have a kicker that can make kicks. You don't want Narvi. No offense to Narvi. I don't want it where it's like, I have no clue.
Yeah, but there's a wide swath of kickers between
where were they last
Narvi
year?
And paying the guy top of market money.
Where were they last year? You pay for performance.
They didn't want him last year.
Who?
They did not want a veteran kicker. They could have kept Mason Crosby last year. They didn't want him. They drafted Anders Carlson because the general manager thought they were rebuilding.
Not
and that's why
last year, they didn't.
Well, I look at last year's 2023. We just finished 2024.
So last year's now 2 years ago. Just so I want to make sure I'm up on your. I give you a lot of grief. I want to make sure I understand the calendar now that we're dealing with. So last year is 23. This year's still 24. Just so we're on the same page.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize the 25 football season had started this year.
We're talking tags. We're talking about next year's team.
Now we're on to that.
Super Bowl's over, baby. It's done. That season's done.
This is like when I said we played the Texans last week, and it was 2 games
I'm
ago.
going to tell you what. If we want to get out of time on this week's show today in this year of 2024, well, we better get out because it's 51.
It's very mindful of you.
Wow.
Thanks for sharing that.
I can't believe Jason went to that. That's beautiful.
Avid readers know that I say 2023 and 2024 now during this very awkward time, in my opinion, since the Super Bowl was just 8 days ago. We'll wrap things up with clock-conscious Tausch next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The Green and Gold Championship window is on the clock.
To me, their window is now wide open. From here on out, they have the opportunity to get to the Super Bowl.
The countdown to the NFL draft in Green Bay is on.
Goody has to start figuring out his first-round draft picks. Goody's inability to nail the first-round draft pick is what is keeping this team from being a true Super Bowl contender.
Green and Gold off-season talk right here. 94.5 ESPN and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
When two equally powerful opposing forces meet,
this is one of the best rivalries in the NBA.
Something has to give. These collisions can make entire cities shake. For centuries, the world's leading minds have tried to describe these cataclysmic events.
Do you believe this?
The National Basketball Association calls it Rivals Week. NBA Rivals Week. Heat versus Bucks and Celtics versus Lakers. Thursday from 7:30 Eastern on TNT.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Champs Americana in Brookfield, the Sandlots of Salem in Salem Lakes, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, Magoo's on the Mound in Milwaukee, and Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill in Pewaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. the Saganiac Planning Marquette Basketball Greatest Scorers. Tony Smith, he had crazy numbers. In 87 as a freshman, 8 points per game, 8. And yet his senior year, it tripled to 24 a game. Smith's average for many years was the highest single-season scoring average in Marquette history. And he scored 44 against Wisconsin. And 2 weeks later, 43 against Butler. Think. 87 in 2 games, when as a freshman, he scored 234 in an entire season.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We're out of time, clock-conscious Tausch. How would you like to close out the show in the final 30 seconds?
You're very welcome, Jason. You could thank me for really kind of holding you to account, making sure we get out on time. If that's what you want to do, I'm fine with that.
Waterworld, one of the all-time box office
How about the Postman?
flops.
Is that another one? Kevin Costner was in one that was a Buster Rooney too.
Yeah, Waterworld.
Waterworld was
that
Kevin
was
Costner.
Waterworld.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if he was delivering mail or not, but I've never seen it.
Okay. I heard there's sharks in the Coliseum at the new Gladiator that probably...
I recorded Gladiator. It was on Showtime recently. Now I have to set aside 3 hours to watch it.
Good luck.
Since I've never seen it before. So I look forward to that opportunity coming up. I'll give you my review 20 years after it came out later this week.
Something
on
exciting to
Wilde and
look
Tausch.
forward to.
That is something.
And you can't judge, given how long it took you to see Titanic. Thank you for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Get ready, Oak Creek. Tsunami Express is making a splash with a brand new location at 6900 South 27th Street. Join the grand opening celebration February 12th through the 23rd. Enjoy free washes and snag an unbeatable deal. Just $5 for your first month of unlimited washes. Plus, 100% of the grand opening proceeds go to Special Spaces Wisconsin, creating dream bedrooms for kids battling cancer. Make a difference while getting your car sparkling clean at Tsunami Express in Oak Creek. See you there. Offer valid for new members only. Terms and conditions apply.
They say seeing is believing. And when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real...
From Studio One on the campus of the worldwide headquarters of ESPN. And from Studio Q in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Joe and Q on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I understand this format and why is the way it is, kind of to hopefully push the All-Stars to play harder during the game. But I'll be honest with you, I feel like everybody's the grown men. Like, you cannot force anybody to play hard if he doesn't really want to.
Yeah, the star power is good, but I need the star power to perform like the stars that they are.
Nobody's asking you to compete like you're going against each other in the regular season or the playoffs. But in the summertime, when you're working out with each other, you show a little bit of effort. You could do that for NBA All-Star Weekend.
back into all things NBA All-Star Weekend. What's good, what's bad, and how do they fix it? We're going to do that here on Joe and Q on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. We're also on your smart speaker. We're presented by Progressive Insurance alongside Joe Fortenbaugh. I'm Q Myers. But before we do any of that, any All-Star game material, Joe, I got a shout out to our guy at Josh Hennig on Twitter. We were just talking about, we were relating all the shows here on ESPN Radio. Who's the most relatable? Joe and Q being the number one show. And you just emptied the clip on every other show along the dial, which is cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? I tend to like some of the things that others do on their shows, but you emptied the clip on everyone, which is great. And obviously, Josh,
I like all these people as well. I can just be honest with my assessments.
No, it's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. And obviously, Josh appreciated it as well. He tweeted out, in another lifetime, Joe Fortenbaugh would have been a great wrestling heel or wrestling manager like Paul Heyman. That last segment with Q was gold. 97.3 ESPN in South Jersey is where he's listening. So there you go. You're emptying the clip on the rest of the roster. Josh, appreciate it.
I always, like most normal people, you'd want to fancy yourself the hero, but I've gotten that feedback more than once. Just to be clear, I think my course of action, had I gone the professional wrestler route, would have been the heel. So I appreciate it. We appreciate all the feedback and everyone listening. We're having a good time on the show. Quick update for those who want to ride along with the show. Day betting alert coming up. Cam and Bubba Day betting alert are at the controls today. It is a goal in the opening 5 minutes. Yes, plus 190 of the Canada-Finland showdown, which is scheduled to start in the next few moments. If you want to ride along with us, we will provide updates throughout the course of the show.
Yeah, but again, don't watch the game because it's not an ESPN product.
Right.
Please listen to us.
We'll just give you updates.
Yeah, we'll give you updates. We'll tell you what you need to know. And then on Thursday night, watch the championship game that the U.S. will be in, hopefully against Canada, if we can get that rematch on Thursday on ESPN.
Bet it on ESPN Bet. Don't watch it because it's another network, but listen to us here on ESPN.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
The honest way to consume this content.
And if we get it right, we may do a little bit of Harry Douglas singing, right? We may do a little Harry Douglas singing. Hey, that's okay. I'm all right with that.
I'm not doing any of that hooting and hollering. I had enough of him down in New Orleans.
Hey, man, every once in a while, I like to hoot and I like to holler as well. I'm just saying. That's how your boy rolls. Every once in a while, I got to get a good hoot in and a good holler here on Joe and Q on ESPN Radio. Well, I'll tell you what, the All-Star game, the All-Star weekend didn't get me hooting or hollering at all. Matter of fact, it got me hollering in a bad way that I wanted more. I wanted better. I wanted to see the product that I grew up loving, right, as a young dude growing up, and it's just not there. And then to add insult to injury, Joe, LeBron James, he sits out due to, and I say in air quotes, foot and ankle injury, but didn't let anybody know until the last second, till it was too late to actually have him replaced by someone else. Matter of fact, here's what he said at his press conference, talking about his status for the game and interest in the format.
You won't see anything from me tonight. Unfortunately, I will not be in uniform tonight. Still dealing with ankle and foot discomfort, so I will not be playing tonight, unfortunately. I hate that, but I'm looking forward to seeing the format. This is the first year for it. I know we got a lot of great, call us the OGs. That's hilarious. We do got a few guys with gray hairs, so that it makes sense. But, that should be fun. I saw the quote the other day with DK with somebody who's going to play against me. So I guess I'll see him at practice, and hopefully I'll be in practice. We can go at it then.
What I'm about to say, I say full honesty. I say it with full authenticity. It's not a joke. It's truly how I feel, in that this was my favorite part of All-Star Weekend. Okay. My absolute favorite part was LeBron James waiting until a few hours before tip on Sunday to say he would not be participating. Think about the avocados you have to have, given the situation, to be the face of the NBA and to spit in the commissioner's face like this, to put yourself above everybody else. I love this. I loved everything about this. So we know coming in that this is not something new. All-Star Weekend in the NBA used to be something great. Not only is it not great anymore, it sucks. The product is really lousy. The NBA is aware of this.
Yeah.
Shockingly, they're not trying to shovel this past us. They know that it's bad, and they're trying to find ways to make it better. But the thing is, publicly, they know it's bad. We've all talked about it. It's been discussed. They keep talking about how they want to make it better. They're working to make it better. They keep letting us know that, so they're aware of this. That means James, the face of the NBA, the guy who desperately wants you to look at him as the greatest player of all time, is aware of this as well. He has multiple options at his disposal going into the weekend. Number one, we don't hear about the injury. He plays. He rallies everyone to show up for the good of the sport and the good of the weekend to try their hardest and rekindle this thing. Okay, he doesn't want to take that option. That's fine. He can do what he wants. Option number two, he's injured. He announces it earlier in the week so that an individual like Norman Powell, who's never been to an All-Star game, or Domantas Sabonis could have the opportunity to be named an All-Star in his replacement and step in and play in the game and maybe try hard. That's also an option. James passes on that, and he chooses option 3, to wait until a few hours before tip to let everyone know he's not going to play, so there's not enough time to get a replacement in there. He makes it all about him, and then during the introductions, he does make it a point to be a part of that, to come out and slap hands and have the spotlight on him. It is incredible that when Adam Silver, the commissioner, is trying to get this thing back on track, the face of the NBA spits in his and all the fans' faces like that by pulling out a few hours before. It was my favorite part of the entire weekend.
Yeah, it was wild that actually happened, and hearing that soundbite from him. Well, you ain't gonna see nothing from me tonight. The discomfort, right? And it sounded like he didn't even really have the right words that he was gonna say. It's absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was something that he should have announced way earlier. They should have been able to replace him if he wasn't going to participate. But the way that you broke it down, the assessment of it was perfect. And I'll say this: as much as we talked about it on this show today on Joe and Q, KD, Kevin Durant, he might have been listening to what we had to say about it, because he tweeted this out about